What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck. All right, we're going to do it. I have a couple videos that I want to get to tonight. I'm going to be doing a compilation of just some of the key updates of what's going on with Super Stupid and what's all occurred within the last 7 good days, okay? There has been so much movement with a lot of things that mostly is her fault because she's been the one filing frivolous lawsuits or wanting her goons to object to Napoleon Harris and having all of these things come down the pipeline at one time. And I told you all, once these cases start making its way to court, these judges are going to get sick of these stupid ass lawsuits and they're going to start dismissing them and chewing them out at the same time because they don't have valid claims. They're not based upon the law or finding of fact or anything for that matter. They barely file them properly. So there are going to be so many more cases that's going to have some sort of movement through the court system. And, you know, I foresee many of them being dismissed unless it's a lawsuit against her where more than likely she will lose and then have to continue to get these judgments paying out thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we're going to kick this off with this. I'm not going to dignify this nonsense that Cleopatra Draper at WVON did with Super Stupid. I'm not going to call it an interview. It will be an insult to the term. I'm going to call this a squabble. And particularly a squabble between two chicken heads that are sitting here just kind of pecking at each other, giving birth to eggs or something on a nest. I mean, it was just madness. It was disgusting. It was vile. And just one big ass kissing session. So there is a video, some reports out there from, I call her Bobblehead Cleo, where Barney and friends were captured on video camera stealing signs. And she at some point was running for a position for councilwoman. I don't know if it was Thornton, Dalton, don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because you shouldn't be out there stealing signs. If you have to do that, then this is not what you need to be doing. That means you have no platform, no policies, and nothing to offer anybody. If your gimmick is to go steal some signs. Got caught on camera doing it and tried to lie about it and then deflect when she was confronted by the news. This is part of that freedom of the press. Having accountability and holding other people accountable. That's it. It's that simple. So having that context and knowing her history and how she operates and maneuvers, it's easier to understand why she sat here and basically kissed Super Stupid's ass for almost an hour or two or however long this video is. So, you know, it's ridiculous. But I want to give a shout out to Vivian. This is her video. Her video was like the cleanest and most clear audio that I came across. So shout out to you, Vivian. Thank you for posting this up. I have this up on 1.75 speed. I am going to have some breaks in between. And then I'm going to go to some documentation as they go along and just kind of debunk a few of the points that they horribly tried to make. I mean, Super just flat out lied. Just as if we all in some alternate universe where her mind has gone to, because she's not here with us on Earth. This girl's lost her mind. So you'll see some comments too. I don't know if this is Super stream, her live, or Kamal. But both of them idiots were in there live streaming this whole interview. Or, nope, the devil is a lie. This whole squabble. And ended up getting some of the, I don't even think that the Teletubby there with purple actually realized that this was being live streamed until after the fact. Where they were sitting here just cussing and doing stupid, dumb stuff. I cuss, but this is my video on my channel. These two are on a radio station. So, there's a little bit more decorum they have to have, saying that this is their job, Cleopatra, and you're being paid. So, either way, let's get to it. It's going to be fast moving, but y'all try to keep up.
of the midday show and live in studio, as promised y'all. Like, she really here. Like, she is in the building. You know her as the Superman. What your mama call you? Your mama call you Tiffany?
Yep, Tiff.
All right, Tiff. Also known as Mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard. And I promised her, I just wanted her to listen for a second because I need to build this up. So for all of you all are tuning in,
no, you
especially
don't.
all 20,000 residents of Dalton that's going to call. Minus Dalton, she's over a township, right? So I'm going to list them. You got Blue Island, Burnham, Calumet City, Dixmoor, Dalton, East, right? So I'm going to preface it that way. But I also want to build back to how she became. And you can't become until you look at the history from whence we came. So the teacher in me is going to walk us through some history. And I want you all to follow me. Because I'm going to say 2 words, 1 name. Frank Zuccarelli. Now, if anybody knows anything about Zuccarelli, a.k.a. the Z-Team, you know that there is an elongated history, so much so that it is ingrained in just some historical measures. So from the city of Chicago, we have our very own, now formerly Alderman Ed Burke, who served 54 years, long-term committeeman, right? So then when we look to the Southland, undeniably, they had Frank Zuccarelli. And I was talking about some history. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and I want to talk about you. You know, what we were saying, it was a show in between the show. And undeniably, I think through all the noise, it gets lost in the sauce of, why are you so damn important and what you over there? So who are you?
So just to give you a little background on me, I grew up in the village of Dalton, and that's why I go so hard for Dalton, right? Basically, my mom came in about 85, 87 or so, and I went to every school, Berger Vandenberg, Thorn Ridge, Dirksen, Robert Morris University, and here I am now. When I ran for office in 2013, I became the first youngest
Pause, because you're skipping over something vital.
Okay.
What super mayors sometimes forget, because she's been serving for a while, is that she's an entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
So before you even decided to run, you were in these streets serving up that good burger. Talk to me about the entrepreneur.
I don't consider it a failed restaurant where you're injecting slop mock meat with some weird sauce and then putting it between a bun. That isn't that place closed either way? Okay. That's not an entrepreneur. She thought she could cook and she started something. That's it. Good grief. The ass kissing session in this is just egregious.
Entrepreneurial side of your brain, because you didn't just get here haphazardly. There has to be some calculus in the tea leaves that make you smart, as the young folks would say.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that, because you crossed past
smart.
that.
Okay, definitely. I'll back up. Thank you for catching it. So when I was in school, I was always an entrepreneur. I used to sell bad candy. When it was $1. You buy your chews, your fruities, and I was selling to all my classmates. So that's what kind of started my entrepreneur spirit. After that, when I went to college, I went to night school. I don't like getting up early in the morning. I'm not a day person at all. So when I went to night school, we didn't have anywhere to go to get food but the vending machines. So I then went home and I used to make meals. So I did a hamburger helper, things like that, cakes and cookies, and I sold it out of a duffel bag in school. I used to bring home $300-$400 a day. And then I hired my classmates. I started getting employees. I started a whole business literally in business school. So from there, I then bought a building in Calumet City, and I created Good Burger. I had Good Burger for 20 years, and I sold hand-packed turkey and beef burgers, and then hand-cut fries. From there, I went out the contracts. I went into Perry State College. I went into South Suburban College. I've always been a hustler. That's why y'all can't break me, and I will never give up, because I know how it feels to hustle all day to make whatever the goal is to bring home. And that's why you see my grind the way it is today.
And we're gonna pull back all those layers. But for those that knew, because you identified Tiffany from the block,
yes.
I always try to connect it to the business side of, your boss attributes, because, I think you're a different breed. Everybody would agree to that, right? Yes. And it got to be something that is rooted, that drives you. And it's not any of the...
She's a different breed, all right. She is not of this planet. The end. She's an alien. There you walk.
These titles.
Definitely.
You are a mother.
Yes.
And I want folks to understand what that means for you, right? So you are a mother, you are a Black woman, and you go hard for Dalton.
Yes.
But as a mother, why?
Why? Because I want my daughter to have the same opportunities that I'm trying to get for every other Black.
Okay, let me stop right there. I don't like the fact that they continue to harp on about this race. I've seen this before, as much as I can stomach it, but that's all they do. They just sit here and talk about being black. Black woman, I'm a Black woman, I'm a Black woman in power, I'm a single mother. You're not the only damn Black woman on earth that is a single mother. And you have some that are way more effective than you are, and they don't have any power at all. Just because you got a title does not mean that you are meant to be in those roles. And the way that she landed in those positions was crooked as hell either way. Especially for Supervisor Thornton Township. The whole voting process, I reacted to it on my channel, and that whole voting process was just skewed and flawed from the beginning. And even and I said this, a couple of videos back about Chris Gonzalez. I said, y'all, actually, when I reacted to the caucus vote, I said, y'all need to still get on his ass about that. I would love to hear a hearty apology from Chris Gonzalez to say, I am so sorry. I even contributed to a vote that put this heifer in this position. And I promise to do better. Here's some of the things, that I've talked to our future supervisor, Napoleon Harris or whomever it be, because it won't be her. As far as trying to implement as a platform and some policies to pass or whatever, to make it up to you all, because you all deserve better. Anything, Gonzalez, anything to smooth that over, because otherwise it's almost like, yeah, we did this, but I don't want to harper on you not making a better decision and allowing things to be done the right way. There's a way to do things in decency and in order. And when you don't do that, this is the consequences of it. But it doesn't mean that you're not relinquished of some level of consequence as well. So at least acknowledge it and apologize for it. And then go and follow that up with, here's what I have as far as an idea on how we can contribute more and improve things as elected officials, as trustees, to serve our community. It's something along those lines to me would go a long way. So, the way she got these positions, the supervisor position particularly, was just skewed. It was jacked up, and it's almost like karma. It's like, oh my God, we didn't know what we were voting for. Well, this is why you should do things the right way. You can't curtail it and then get upset when you end up electing a demon, and then you realize, okay, this was not the best. This was not a good decision. But own up to it and apologize to the people. Let them know what you plan on doing moving forward. And just hope and pray they give you back the trust that they had in you when you were elected, Chris Gonzalez. So, either way.
Or a kid or a woman in America. Right now, it's the hardest thing for a woman to be empowered. When a woman's in leadership role, they feel restricted. They feel they don't know anything.
You just don't carry it well.
And we're not. We do not want to stick with the status quo. We want people to be right in government. Everybody that's in government is not bad, is not corrupt. And I am living proof of that. But yet they painted me as this bad person, a corruption, a thief. I'm none of those.
I'm sorry, where are the receipts at to show the itemized transactions of Amazon and Wayfair? What exactly did you do with the $561,000? Where's the $6 million grant or whatever it was that you were supposed to get? Where is that at? In Dalton? Your name was on credit cards and bank accounts when you first were sworn in for mayor of the village of Dalton. Where are all those financials that you were required by federal law to maintain and ensure was posted, was submitted out for audits, certain documents that could be FOIA, it was available and easily accessible to the public? Where are those receipts, girl? You keep running your damn mouth. We want to see the documentation and right. We want to see the itemized invoices. We don't want to see all that. We don't want to hear all that other shit. Just post the receipts up. Oh no, you don't have it. Okay.
I'm fighting against the people that are. But people have to hear my story to understand where I am and where I come from and why I've continued to fight and stand in the fight for them. Next month, we have Black History Month. Why we got the shortest month of the year? Why? Why is it only that month we talk about the Black leaders or the people that have uplifted us as we grow? Because we all have mentors, the people we look up to. Harriet Tubman, Rosa.
You should be asking that of the United States Congress. Ask them. What kind of question is that? Girl, please. You don't give a damn about Black History Month because you don't care about the Black women you have disrespected over and over again in town hall meetings. Infringing upon people's First Amendment rights. Girl, if you don't kick rocks, kick rocks.
And I tell everybody, I am.
Kick rocks,
I am
demon seed.
The difference between back then and now is I'm living the same dream as her. What did she not want to do? Give up her seat, right? She would not give up her seat. What am I doing today? Not giving up my seat.
And we're going to talk about that. You made a hell of a correlation in terms of what's at stake. And as I walk us through the series, because you like a whole book.
Yeah.
It's a series of collections that, for real, when we look in hindsight, one day, God is going to bless us to live to grow old. And if not, live to tell the stories through others. And it's a series. And it's a lot of you that I want folks to take away as we pull back these layers, because we don't get into the weeds, guys. Like, ultimately, she's alluding to a few things. The seat, the fire, the brimstone, right? So, and yes, she's still standing. And the question is why? When you think about the village of Dalton, 8-mile radius, right? About nearly 22,000 residents. That little spot on the map, is it that important? Or is the bigger picture, the supervisor picture, critical? And if so, why? So when we look at Thornton Township, you would agree is the second most powerful township in the state. And what makes it powerful is that it delivers the votes. Let's be clear,
Correct.
Right? Yes, the vast majority is reflected, let's say, about 60-40 in terms of white and black. But when you think about the village of Dalton, it's predominantly black. But both of whom have historically been in some deficits or mismanagement or poor leadership, and it's continued. So that's undeniable. Now everybody's probably asking, well, what's her role in? We have a sheet. We're going to get to that, right? But first, I want to jog your memories to the mayoral leaders that came before you. Bill Shaw comes to mind.
Yes.
The Shaw brothers.
Yes.
If you didn't see one, you saw the other.
Well, again, I always been a leader, so I took on the role of Black Club president. So on my block, I always try to get the neighbors engaged, make sure you know your neighbor. When we went to school and got out, sometimes we go to the neighbor house, and that's the thing that I wanted to bring back, basically unity amongst community and us building one another. So my parents went home, we go to neighbor's house, they feed us, they help us with our homework, things like that.
Okay, so Barney is just giving her way too much leading information to just lead to one simple ass question that no one cares about. Where are the damn receipts at? And why is it was so difficult for you to ask her that, Cleopatra Bobblehead? Why could you not have done that? You know, I don't understand. Why bring her on here on this show just for you to sit here and not just lead her into these simple ass questions, but give all this background historical context that is irrelevant. That's irrelevant. And you can tell that, Snuffleupagus did not do her homework at all. You brought this woman on here for her to lie on your platform in that radio station booth. And you didn't even have simple facts and evidence in front of you to be able to read off to say, listen, there wasn't a deficit here in the village of Dalton. What the hell happened? There was a surplus. You didn't inherit a deficit. That's something that can be proven, girl. Chicken number head and chicken head number 1 and 2. Oh, God. They just sat here and just did this whole banter thing. You know what? I paused it to say this. Think you're not going to give up that seat if you want to. Don't let it come the day where you need to remove your ass from town hall. I hope you understand that if you do not walk out willingly, the Illinois State Police Department will be there to carry your black ass out. And I hope they don't show you any mercy. Drag her ass out of that town hall if you need to. No one has time for your nonsense, and you refusing to transition power. You will lose. You're not going to be mayor of Dalton anymore. You're done. Go find a regular job. Go home to your child. And count out the days until the FBI drops an indictment on your ass and goes and kicks your door in. They may not do that, but I would just love to see that either way. I mean, I'm just saying. It would be epic.
Nature. So the issue was over a tree. It's that simple. It was over a tree. We wanted a tree cut on the block, but it wasn't on our property. It was on someone else's property. I went to a board meeting and I asked them, hey guys, we have a tree. It's messing up the plumbing. It's leaning over in the street where we dance and do our routines at. Can you please come and cut it down? And basically when I went, they flickered me off. They said, I'll sit down. What you talking about, little girl? Because I was young. I was a teenager at the time. And from there, it got me interested in government because I didn't know who ran our
40
city.
years
I didn't know
ago.
what that looked like. And when I saw just all old people, no youth, nobody that can actually be our voice and understand what we want, I ran for office. Now don't get me wrong, they kicked me off the ballot when I first ran. I didn't know the game, didn't know nothing. I was so young, wet behind the ears, didn't know nothing. So then after that,
I was looking for that too, right? There's never any history. So y'all getting some real exclusive.
Yeah.
When you knocked off the ballot, this is as though you ain't never ran. I've been kicked off the ballot. So you got knocked off the ballot, but you did.
Yeah, you were kicked off the ballot because you stole signs, you goon. You were stealing signs and you got caught on camera. And then you tried to lie about it. This is the blessed beauty of the freedom of the press. You get held accountable and you get called out on your dumb shit. And now you want to sit here and say, I'll be kicked off too. Tell us why. Come on, Barney. Tell us why. Ugh.
If you got back up.
I did. Dust yourself off, try again, as Leah said. Yes.
Okay, so tell me, so when I think of you and you fill in the blanks, you think of Zuccarelli, I think of the Z team, right? Now, the boss had the Z team. Were you a part of that apparatus?
Because I just can't go status quo on my own person. So I've always helped when they call for us to go get signatures, things of that nature. What people don't understand or didn't know about Frank Zuccarelli, he worked through his people. That's how he was able to stay in office for so long. That's the problem I'm having now. No one wants to work together. Everybody wants to be the dictator to Tiffany Henyard. And I'm saying no.
No, because you want to be the dictator to everybody else. And we're saying no. You represent only 1/3 of government, girl. That's it. Your legislative board is not subject to you. You're not the queen. You sit in a position that is free for all, really. Anyone that is elected into that role. So that's not something you get appointed to for life. And no, being elected mayor does not mean that you will escape any federal charges that a grand jury decides to indict your black ass on. You can still go to prison, even if you're still a mayor. Don't get any ideas. That's not going to protect you from going to prison. It's not. You're not the president of the United States of America. Please don't make that man have to tell you the hard way that you are not him.
People people to do the same like I did with Frank Zuccarelli.
You're not alike.
When Frank had a judge, attorney that wanted to run for judge, things of that nature, he went to every single town, which is 17 cities he conquered.
She not like us.
Those elected officials.
Not
they
like
went
us.
out and got the signatures for his slates. That's how this game worked. He didn't go do it, but he had the resources and the connections to make it work.
So what she's identifying is the strength and power of relationships. But as two black women that are on the most powerful black-owned radio station in the country, we ain't white, and that ain't right. Right?
Yeah.
Girl, please. Yeah, you got so many calls and messages and emails and posts and stuff about your dumb ass. It wasn't even funny. They had to do something drastic. We'll get to that video next.
And ultimately, that privilege that you saw, the trickle-down effect just hasn't reached you and probably will not touch you as a black woman in power. And that's been a whole reality. And I am going to identify that for you because you would be remiss as you read and see, and eventually I just stop in terms of, damn, don't ain't that important? Why this seat and why now? Right? So as we build up to the rise of Tiffany Henyard, Tiffany from the block, a.k.a. Good Burger. You know, you dust yourself off, you tried again, you ran, and then you were seated.
Correct.
Okay. So you had to get out there and get your teeth cut, right? And you served as a trustee for how long?
8 years. I did 2 terms.
So 2 terms under the leadership of then Mayor Riley Roger.
Correct.
Right? So was Roger done, or you just decided that you were done?
Well,
and you wanted something new? Which way?
I had to make sure I unseated him, and I ran for the seat because he kept trying to recall me. It's not my first recall.
Oh, really?
He tried to recall myself, Stan Brown, and Robert Hunt. And they lost. Frank Zuccarelli was involved as well as relates to, we had a lawyer, we defeated that, and we still kept our seats. But they always tried to recall us, no matter what. When people can't control you, they're trying to remove you from office. That's how this game goes.
Because recall is an X factor here in Chicago.
Correct.
There is a state rep that is pushing that agenda. He's done so even when he was on the ballot for mayor, but they were rebuking in the name of Jesus. Chicago, but recall is also powerful, but it's abusive.
Correct.
And I did not know.
Jesus said, leave his name out of your mouth, girl. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Leave his name out of your mouth. He doesn't want anything to do with y'all dumb shit. Leave his name out of your mouth.
Oh, that this was not your first rodeo.
No, ma'am.
So you were recalled or attempted to be recalled once or twice?
2 times. So once as a trustee and
Okay, I
once
know
as
that.
mayor.
Right, I know that as mayor, but once beforehand.
Correct.
So is that the same time that you decided to run against him for mayor, or did you run in the next term?
I ran in the next term.
Okay.
Because he tried to put term
So he
limits
pulled
on
that
us.
trigger,
Yes.
and then you clapped back.
I did.
That's the translation.
And he lost his seat.
And he
That's
lost
why
his
I watch what you go for, because it's good for me, it's good for you. And the people elected me by landslide, 82% I won.
And yeah, what's good for you will be good for the next person. So your ass will be unasked out of that seat as well. You'll be removed. And if it has to be physical, let me re-emphasize the fact that if she needs to be physically removed, she will be physically removed from that goddamn building. Oh, yes, you will be. And I hope to God that all the police officers there are wearing their body cameras, and they get all the footage and they post it all up. Just make our day. You guys need to redeem yourselves in Dalton Police anyway. Unless Jason House decides to just redo the entire Dalton Police Department, which I would be more than happy to hear about. Perhaps that'll help to restore the faith of the people back into law enforcement if you start it all over again. Because it's just too many corrupt police officers there. It's disgusting.
2021.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. So this woman know her stats, y'all. So in other words, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And as I think what makes us very interesting as millennials is that we learn real quick.
Oh, no,
and then when we learn,
millennials.
you can't unlearn what you know,
Oh, no.
right? Because you were in the thick of this fight. And I want to talk about Dalton because, you know, there's been some painful moments, right? I think you've had some growing pains yourself as a leader.
Correct.
And I want to give you that opportunity to have that humility and grace because nobody's perfect.
Correct.
Right? And I want to talk about a few things, but I do want to preface that there are some things because of just the legalities and the nature of things that I won't get in the weeds of the
She
details.
runs her
'Cause
mouth
everybody was
more
saying,
than
well, ask
no.
about this. No. Let me tell you something. What happened in Vegas, did it happen in Vegas? And if it did, that's for a jury to deliberate. But there are moments of leadership where I bet.
Yo, shut up. You about to say something really stupid. Let me tell you something. There's a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit from Officer Miles and Phinia Dukes. And that's based on the wrongful termination because she came to Super Stupid and reported the essay. The jury is not going to deliberate in that civil lawsuit about the essay itself. It will be the wrongful termination that stemmed from her reporting the essay allegation. What the hell are you talking about, Barney? You know, you would think a lovable dinosaur would read a book or two. Oh my God.
If she was to take that trip again, ain't none of y'all going, everybody stay at home. And that's how we going to do this. And I'm going to come back and tell you the message. So when we come back,
Gross.
we are talking to the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, supervisor of Thornton Township, mayor of Dalton, who's going to dive into the growing pains. Because I think every leader, if they have not grown, then they're not a leader. And when you look back over it, would you have done certain things differently? Stay with us. I think that is what has driven this hate campaign. Not to mention,
You know, hate
let's be clear, as
campaign,
an
she's
elected,
just
I'm
god-awful.
You've experienced meeting folks that just don't like you.
Yes.
No matter what you've done, what you've given, what you've experienced, what you've said, what they can't forgive, what they can't forgive, they don't like you. But these headlines don't make it better. So I'm going to read a few of them. America's worst mayor. facing evictions, not paying rent, your charity, the conflicts of interest, your relationship, the deficit in Thornton.
That all have evidence to support it. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Documentation. Perhaps you're not familiar with these terms. May I recommend the dictionary? I mean, seriously, you can Google and define those terms. There's evidence to prove it. No matter how much you all want to distort reality, the courts will never care about that. They don't care about how you feel about a headline. They're going to wonder where is your evidence to prove whatever case you have. Because I don't understand why Super thinks that no one else could meet their burden if they were to sue her as the petitioner. And in a civil lawsuit, the burden to meet is a preponderance of the evidence. You just need to be 51% convincing. Is it more likely than not? It is not a matter of proving beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a criminal matter. So with all these civil lawsuits that she has that are just stopping all over her ass right now. Oh, these court hearings are about to get really stressful and really real for her. Her reality is about to get a rude awakening. And I just can't wait. But this is absolutely insane. Listen here, Teletubby. Don't sit here and give leading information like this and you just running your mouth. And then when you ask her a question, you asking her some silly ass shit that no one cares about. Why not ask her, okay, can you produce this Amazon itemized invoice? Oh my God.
The cars being repossessed in Dalton. I mean, hit after hit after hit to the point where not only do people want to know, who is this girl? Where is Dalton? What's up with Thornton? What they gonna do about it? I mean, it gets lost in the translation. What do you say to these headlines?
Well, all lies. I think that someone bigger is behind it all, paying for all the negative media, because every time I send in a clip or get them facts or get them proof or get them documentation, they don't even put it up. And then I have to create my own platform and put it up on there to show people the truth. And that's where my base come from. When I do speak truth, I show them evidence and then we go from there. But it's sad and heartbreaking because how some people personal life. What I got to do with where I sit government? I mean government, not personal.
I'm sorry, did I miss the documentation that she posted up? Is there documentation on her channel? You know what? Keep running your mouth, Super Stupid. The courts will love this video. All lies? Yeah, that can easily be debunked with documentation in the court of law, where you have no power. Always remember that.
Like I
said it.
They said I'm being evicted, right? Mm-hmm. I don't rent from her. But yet, that's the story everybody put. I'm not her tenant. I'm not on the lease.
Holy crap, it's called a lease agreement.
So why would somebody do that? Because I wanted to say this question personally, and she looked at me dead in the eyes, y'all. So I want to be clear of how intimate this exclusive is. Why would somebody go that far?
They're looking dead in the eyes. We're all looking dead at the side of your wig. What does that have to do with anything? Are you kidding? We're looking at the fact that you're wearing this purple leather suit and red glasses and sitting here talking about she's looking you dead in your eyes and we're being intimate right now. Get the fuck out of here. This ain't no... What is this? What is this? All I hear is wah, 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 wah.
To be smudge you, and you're not their tenant.
Dear God.
Everyone's paid. Everyone's behind everything. And it will be exposed. So people want me to talk premature, right? So, of course, you know what lawyers say. I don't talk about this. Don't focus on that. I only gave you a little bit of it, but that's the truth.
Understand.
And that's why I'm okay with saying it. Even though the lawyer give me later for it, he'll deal with it. But it's just a problem because why? You guys can't beat me that you got to go that far? That's beyond reason.
We're beating
you. Know what I'm saying?
you.
Like, if you're going to fight me at the polls. Bring the people out. But you got to make the people not like me and do character assassination. I'm not with that. Because I put in the work. I paid my dues. When I say pay my dues, I mean did the work. My work speaks for itself. And no one can outwork me or outbeat me. So the only way they can try to beat me is by telling the people I did this, I'm doing that. Come on now, really? No, all false, all negative. And that's why you see me in the public. Think about it. People really guilty or really bad. What they do? Run. You don't see them no more. They out of the headlines, right? They don't go to meetings. They not in the public.
Yeah,
they not indoors.
Say, folks were saying, well, good luck. I don't think she's going to come. She going to stand you up. I said, she's not running. And I received that about you. And it's a build up to,
what kind of nonsense is this? I received that about you. I don't understand why you want to receive an evil entity. No, because the birds of these two chicken heads and their feathers are flocking to damn together. It's like sitting here watching chickens just peck at corn. They're peacock, 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 and then they laying eggs, and then that's when they decide they want to sit here and ask a question when they pop out an egg. It's infuriating for someone who is... I don't even, I call myself an independent journalist of some sort and a reactor and a commentator, and I can give feedback and stuff like that, look up information and do some research, because I try to keep things to where, it's You can look up and Google the same information and just go on a little fact finding mission if you need to. But I try to bring that into my content. You literally have this girl just saying at the side of her neck, talking about I received things about you. Where's the receipts from the damn Las Vegas trip? My God.
Charity, right? The that, and it's been dissolved since then, correct? Your charity.
You're the worst.
I personally don't even have a charity. I never did. But I get tired of everything because of people name something after me. Okay, but what does it have to do with me? Think about it. It's so minute. It's bigger than that. My mom had breast cancer. Like, I don't play with stuff like that. When I was a trustee, people really go back and do the history and research, because people don't research. They just, you say something about me, they just play it. And then I got to dispel what you said. That don't make no sense to me. And that's why I call it fake news. So my mom had cancer, and then in 2013, I did a cancer walk every single year. Didn't miss a beat. But they ain't talking about that though, right? Mm-hmm. I want people to talk about facts and not fiction.
And I want to talk about facts, right? Like, so ultimately, we know where you stand and rooted in the charity. And then when we talk about just, like the headlines, undeniably, this Vegas trip has overshadowed a lot of your administration and your ability to lead. And some of the accusations are horrible.
Yeah, because she fired Phinia Dukes, but not the officer, and not he who will not be named in the Lady Luck Club. So you kept the two guys on payroll here. The officer got demoted, but he didn't lose his job. And I think partly it is due because, most police officers are part of a union. And you go fight the union if you want to. Good luck to the dumb shit. But he who shall not be named in the Lady Luck Club still has a job. Why doesn't Phinia Dukes have hers? Of all the people to fire, why her? How does that make sense? Why go to bat for him? Now that there's a lawsuit and an investigation that's been started again in Vegas, why would you want to go to bat for him but fire her? What the hell is that? Even if you put him on a leave and tell him don't come back to his investigations, it's over and done with, and that lawsuit has been adjudicated in the court of law. At the very least, that's the minimum you could have done. But she should have been able to keep her job. So all this karma is going to come back on you, you little goofy clown.
Mm-hmm. And it is tied to your leadership.
Disgusting.
What do you have to say in regards to the desire for folks to know more about what had happened in Vegas, right? What do you say to that?
I say people should give people an opportunity to be heard and not just judge off of one-sided narratives. I think that in due time, everybody will speak to whatever their part is. Everybody got to understand just because somebody not speaking don't mean they're guilty or something wrong. Like I just told you, when you get legal counsel, they tell you you cannot talk about certain things. Like, for instance, we're still in court. Mm-hmm. People are suing for money. So that's your answer.
Okay. You all heard it here. And last but not least, as we continue to magnify the constant narrative that's up against you, why not stand down? Why run again for re-election?
Because the people put me in there, and the people going to keep me in. That's it. That's
no,
all.
they're not.
At the end of the day, throughout all the controversy and all the mess, I still produce for my community. I still continue to do the work. With all the hate and people calling me out my name and being disrespectful, coming to my mom's house, coming to my house.
Where are the financial disclosures at? Why aren't you sending over information to the state comptroller's office for the audit? Where are the receipts? You had, once upon a time, access to credit cards. Where are those statements? What about the bank accounts that you're still on? Why won't you just release the bank statements or something? Anything. There are so many itemized invoices that you should have. When you all went out to Las Vegas, didn't you get an invoice or receipt from the hotel, the restaurant y'all ate at? Pay for all the meals and drinks. Where are those receipts at? It's that simple. It's a piece of paper with letters and numbers on it, and then it has some more numbers that kind of either add up or subtract. I mean, it might have gratuity at the bottom or miscellaneous charges from the hotel or incidentals. Like, that's what we're asking for. Now you continuously running your damn mouth, girl. That we want receipts to be posted and shown. But this is ridiculous. You promoted the Tiffany Cares breast cancer thing in videos that will be used against you in a court of law. So since you want to be stuck on stupid even the more now, it's like this is just her superpower, being dumb. She knows that she said that she had a Tiffany Cares Foundation on many, many videos and promoted it and went out on these walks. She referred to herself being the one that created these that foundation. And she said it in videos that went viral. But somehow Bobblehead Cleo could not just look at the videos ahead of time and say, no, there's a video here where you actually said that you were the one that kind of spearheaded Tiffany Cares Foundation. So are you saying now that that's not true? Because we would love for her to continue to lie like she's been doing so that all this stuff can still be used against her in a court of law. It's just sad that you feel like you got to lie about the dumbest shit and you can't own up to it. And you have no idea how it's affecting up. She's a narcissist. I mean, she doesn't care. She doesn't care.
I still show up. Everybody tell me I would have ran. I would have quit. I would not still be in this, Tiffany. But yet here I am. Somebody got to do it. And unfortunately, God chose me to lead the people.
Nope.
And that's what I'm going to do. I follow his steps. Nobody else's. Because at the end of the day, just me and him. Nobody else.
Well, that's fair. I receive that. And when we talk about, us
Oh my
learning
God,
that,
stop receiving her.
Under that recall, my response to people when I do utter your name is it goes back to the recall, right? And I say to folks, and I said this to you, we talked about this, if you all didn't like it, why didn't you do something about it, right? Not only did you send her back, she's there, right? So for those that are organizing against you, we're going to talk about that on the other side because there's an internal conflict, right? And the opposition that was born under your administration since your inception. Because House is no stranger to you, and nor are you him. But ultimately, you are rooted in the work, and you said until the people say it's finished, it is so. Is that what you're saying?
Amen.
All right, when we receive it, you are listening to the Superman. She's giving us an exclusive right here. She woke up flawless. Because if she ain't gonna say it, she feel that way.
Amen.
If you know her, you follow her, you know what time
Stop
that
kissing her ass and get on with it.
That clip, because as women, there's not a moment in any of those statements that we can't identify to in terms of what little girls are expected of is almost equivalent to what men expect of women, especially women in leadership.
Yes.
Right? And you've talked time and time again about fighting the good old boy club. Talk to us, because she ain't know, I do my.
Why she kept two good old boys on payroll that came to her about the issue. No, Officer Miles did. But she didn't get rid of him. She got rid of Phineas Dukes. And then kept he who shall not be named in the Lady Luck Club. So, and then on top of that, and I've said this before, Demon Seed has that spirit of Delilah / Jezebel upon her. For some reason, she loves turning men into simps and goons that have no spine or sack. And enjoys it. Maybe deep down she's doing this out of anger and rage because, at the end of the day, I mean, who would want to be with someone like her other than another criminal? I don't understand. You talking about being an influence to little girls? Your daughter is going to grow up and resent the hell out of you, especially when she gets to a point where she's no longer going to want to see you through a plexiglass while you're wearing an orange jumpsuit and having to talk to you over a phone. Because prison. That the worst thing you can do is to continue to keep her in this environment where that's all she's being exposed to. She at some point is going to start watching these videos, reading the articles, and understand what's going on, what's being reported on by her own mother. Where is this child's father? You might want to call him and say, hey, you might want to come get your daughter. Because some real stuff is about to go down this year. And, for reasons I want her to have a normal childhood. That's the best you can do for your daughter at this point. Send her to her damn daddy. Get her out of this situation. Where's her father at? Is there no one that can keep this child, a babysitter at least? So you don't have to keep dragging her to caucus votes and all this other nonsense when she needs to be at home in the bed? At this point, that's all you really need to be trying to do is set up living arrangements for her to be with someone that can love her and nurture her and take care of her. Because you can't take her to prison with you. No, you cannot. Just absolutely despicable leadership and all this nonsense. And you're an example to little girls out there.
You don't learn it down. Like, besides the headlines, you got to know what's fact.
Yes.
What is the good old boy club in your world?
In my world, it is made up of all men, unfortunately.
I don't care.
We chauvinist men that just tell us this is what we got to do when we can go toe-to-toe with whatever position we choose to accomplish at that time, but nobody wants to see us in it. So I have been going against that status quo for quite some time because we got to understand all my cities are ran by men, except one. That's Lansing and myself. But all 17 cities, majority men, and most men are really upset that I have two positions. Well, most of them have two positions or three positions.
Correct.
And the news not talking about that. It's just that I, meaning the woman, cannot have two positions. And I think I've done a damn good job of keeping both positions on the right track. And that's what they don't talk about. All my accolades that I've done in both communities, all the
What has she done? What has she done? She knows how to hemorrhage money. That's not doing something. That's stealing. That's theft. Possibly embezzlement and money laundering. Those are federal crimes. That's not an accomplishment. It's not an accolade. You brag about getting lawsuits all the time. That speaks volumes. You yourself said I get sued all the time because you keep fucking up. So what accolades do you have? The accolade of the Ewok. I don't understand.
That's what I have. They don't talk about any of those things. And that's stuff that I really want people to hear.
So surplus is where it's at. So let's talk about that because when you inherited the township, it was a deficit.
Yes, $4.6 million.
No.
Oh, she said that with her chest out. And where are we now in that
What?
surplus?
We had $9 million surplus.
Under your leadership.
Under my leadership.
I haven't seen
Where did
that.
that money come from?
And that's what I'm saying, because they got to make me look bad. They don't say none of this. We gave them all the evidence. We gave them all the audits. They can go on Cook County website. The rest of us can go look it up. These are facts. These are things that has been checked.
We can't look it up. Where are the financials on that? Did she just say there was a deficit of millions of dollars and now they have a $9 million surplus in Thornton Township? Where are the financials? Yeah, let's not forget she doesn't know how to do simple math. So she definitely doesn't read. So when we look this stuff up, she pretends like it doesn't exist because she's trapped in some alternate reality because she knows that the hammer is about to come upon her head. But what financials support that? And the fact that, Lord, Bobblehead Cleo, aka Barney the damn dinosaur, did not even try to even challenge that and just Google it right there on the spot. You got all these laptops and equipment. Would it have been too hard for you to just Google the financials of Thornton Township right then and there? That way you could catch her in real time? Seriously? Was it too hard to do? Okay. Two illiterate children not reading.
Village of Dalton. There's a deficit.
Correct.
And you've talked about that openly in the meeting.
Oh.
Where did that deficit come from?
So we owe the city of Chicago like $13 million or so when I first got in office. So why do people think that just disappeared? Where did that go?
And what was the deficit for? I'm assuming water.
Yeah, water. City of Chicago.
Yeah, because Harvey underwater too, right?
Yes.
I ain't gonna talk, Mary Clark, don't you call me, but listen, the water services for our surrounding townships, it does come at a price. And what way did you contribute to the deficit is where people, I think, get things entangled because of the headlines, right?
Correct.
So of that, in what ways were there mismanagement under your leadership when it came to eating at that bill, if any?
So there was no mismanagement. I know everybody want a person to blame. If you're going to blame someone, then you blame the board, the trustees. Because what people don't understand is how leadership in government works. I am the executive branch. I'm the head. They are the legislative branch. The legislative branch is over the money. So if they over the money, why everybody keep saying Tiffany did? Tiffany didn't do shit. And I'm sorry for cussing on your show. Because I'm
What
just
the
pissed off that
hell?
Everybody want me to be the fall person, the person behind that thing. The person, Jason is corrupt as they come. But no one's pointing none of that out because he's a man. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of taking the blame.
No one's pointing it out because there's no evidence to prove it. But if you have it, post it up. I mean, just post it. Shut the fuck up and post it. Post it. Half the shit went fly in court. Good grief.
All their mismanagement, all their negativity, all their hate, all their theft. And that's what y'all gonna hear me
Just keep
talk to.
online.
Everybody gonna get all these people.
Videos
Like y'all
gonna
need to come
use
get Lady
against
Luck from over my seat. Y'all need to bring her back over here. Y'all going to get people that's under investigation that y'all had a problem with to come after me. Like,
So
stop.
pause. You are unearthing some real. So, let's go back to the fundamentals.
Oh my
of how
God,
government
Barney.
works, because this is what we talk about when we're referring to civics, of how you all function as a body. So as the executor or the president of the board, the body, as you're saying, the trustees are who legislate. They create the policies
Correct.
and the resolutions that are fed up to you based upon an agreement. And it's a 4-person board, right?
No, it's six. It's six, but majority is 4. And that's how they're running.
Okay, that's what I'm right. So I'm doing my count because if you got a board and you can't count, you ain't won. So I done jumped the gun, right?
She
So the
can't
6
count
board
anyway.
body, majority rules were 4.
Or do
Right
math.
now, you're split, right? So in your current body, right? And we're going to talk
Or
about that
read.
because you have a special vote coming up in terms of making sure that they install somebody to help weigh the legislation so that you can get something done.
Right, that's township.
That's township.
Dalton is what you're talking about now.
Right, Dalton, right? So ultimately, that's township business. But Dalton, when we think about Dalton, just from a legislative standpoint, the cabal, right? So there's been some filibustering. I'm going to use this political language. There's been some filibustering to prevent work from being done. And as we're talking about the deficit, you inherited a deficit on that side as well, which was $13 million, the vast majority being watered to the city of Chicago. And then, I want to identify what roles did you play. You're saying that it's a collective play, right? You can't get nothing done without your board.
You can't.
Barney. Did you Google that? Did you look that up? Your boss should fire you. Why is Barney Cleopatra the dinosaur spitting out nonsense that she is not even trying to verify in real time on this platform? Is that how y'all operate in Chicago? Y'all just say whatever the hell y'all want on radio stations? So y'all have no integrity at all at WVON? None? Not even a little bit? And then y'all want to sit here and talk about, oh, it's black women running this. You're making it look like some sloppy ass shit, though. You make black women look bad. So this is the crux of what's going on here. This is why people don't want black women to do a lot of things. And I'm saying that as a black woman. Because you're not even using the intelligence and the common sense God gave a billy goat. And you're supposed to be a dinosaur. You're supposed to have a bigger brain and be smart.
Just any mayor, any president. So I just want to talk about facts, guys, because I see you all on the live line, 773-591-1690. But when we talk about moving the needle, you can't do that as just the mayor.
Correct. And I'm going to add to that. Right now, things that residents don't know, they hear it right here on your show, because I'm going to talk about this on my live. My board, right now, the corrupt board that's trying to run against me now.
Not your board, girl.
I don't have a village attorney. I don't have a police chief. I don't have a fire chief. And I don't have a village administrator. All these things, or an assistant. As a mayor, all that come with my seat. Why don't I have those things, residents? We don't talk about facts, let's talk about facts.
Because you putting in dumbass people into those positions and the judge said, go on somewhere and sit down. God, you're the worst.
So the people that's been running government for Dalton has been the Board of Trustees. We've always been in court, because they sue for every little thing. We get tired of it before you know how to go. Kick the can down the road. Okay, give them time to respond. And then now you have the money in court. All these things I sued for. It's called a civil conspiracy. With they little bum attorney, they always want some news play. That's who's their puppet master. So all these things are going on in my city. But I'm the only one fighting back. Just because there's majority against me don't mean I'm wrong. I'm the one right. Just like how y'all did Jesus Christ, right? He's the one that saved y'all like y'all crucified at me. I'm going through the same thing.
So let's talk about that, because no pun
The
intended.
devil is a liar. What? No. Jesus said now once, leave my name out your mouth, girl. He's not going to keep telling you that. He's going to start showing you what it means to not have to say his name in vain. Jesus don't take kindly to that. He'll put it to where you can't speak for a month. If you keep using his name in vain for this nonsense and buffoonery, you are keeping up. You got it coming, little girl. You got it coming, super stupid. And this idiot sitting here, and just letting her just fly off with this nonsense. She's not saying anything that's supported with any evidence or documentation. It's not even a matter of, because me personally, I know that this video can be used against super stupid in the court of law. You know, but it's still just, it's infuriating to hear the same old shit. And you would think if she had a receipt, how many opportunities has she had to just post it up? Post it up. Prove all these weird ass numbers and figures you giving out. Prove it. You won't give somebody a credit card statement to show what you bought on Amazon. You just telling that people that no one's going to believe you with that. I personally have stopped believing her a long time ago. She kissed my ass. But at the end of the day, you still have not proven any of these things. For sake, come on now.
You claiming that you've been a pinata, right?
Yes.
Ain't no candy coming out, y'all, so stop beating on her. Listen. At the end of the day,
we will continue to do it.
And you haven't been effective, which is probably was the goal, right? I'm assuming the latter. The goal was to, technically, you look ineffective, but you look real strong to me, right? You look like you're still holding it down, despite the lack of people put in play. If you really cared about Dalton, you at least have people in place to make it effective. Whether they agree with your politics or what you have to say, there are some missing attributes to have the ship run afloat.
Correct.
Did I get that right?
You did.
Okay, so, ultimately, again, I ask you, why not quit? At this point, have they not done enough to break you?
No, they'll never break me. You can't break my soul. Never. We're going to fight to the very end.
Hell.
Because I didn't come to play. I come to slay. And when I slay, I'm going to expose all of them for their dirty deeds. That's the difference. I'm outspoken. They want me to shut up. I will not. Because at the end of the day, somebody got to tell it. Somebody got to show it. But the people got to want it. The people can't get caught up in this clickbait, drama, reality show, whatever they're trying to create. Because they create the fire and point the finger. That's what they're doing. But it's them with their hand in the cookie jar. And I'm exposing it. And everybody got a problem with it. Even the lawyer, all of them. They all involved. The civil conspiracy lawsuit I put out, it got all of them in there. The lawyer's number one. Because they funnel all the money to him. Think about it. I don't have no lawyers, but y'all.
And the judge dismissed that frivolous lawsuit that she filed against Napoleon Harris. Can we bless God in this place today? Lord, we thank you. I said that was going to happen anyway. I was one of the first ones that said, oh, this is frivolous. It's not going anywhere. One of the first ones to say that. Probably after like Nate the lawyer and Debt-Free Dad attorney reacts because they're attorneys. But I was one of the first top 3 to say, this is a frivolous lawsuit. It's going to get dismissed. And I said that with confidence. Because judges don't have time for that bullshit. They just don't. They're not going to even entertain it. They didn't state a claim. They didn't cite any case law or any law in general. A statute code or a municipal code. They stated nothing on the premise of or foundation of law. And the nonsense of it all, it just came down to her not liking something. So, yes, the judge said, girl, if you don't kick rocks, we denying this with prejudice. Thank you, Jesus. And then this is the same goon that has an incompetent ass attorney, Max Solomon, who was severely reprimanded in court. From hearing, I have on my channel, thank you all for getting that to over 10,000 views. Let's get it over 25,000 views. Keep watching that video. But I have it on my channel where I reacted to it, where the judge severely reprimanded Max Solomon in the lawsuit against the Dalton District Park because they chose to have a meeting over there. And she got mad and sued. And the judge is like, no. I still think the judge should sanction Max Solomon. He needs to be sanctioned like hell. And to the point where it would be utterly embarrassing for him to walk into another courtroom ever again. That type of sanction. Because they habitually do this dumb nonsense. And it doesn't make any sense. For him to have a bar license, he's been practicing law over 10 years. He's just unfit and incompetent. And it's a cycle pattern behavior. The case can be made. Just pull up case filings. Look at the documents he's filed so far in all this nonsense and buffoonery. The case can be made that no, he has a habitual habit of being incompetent or displaying some level of incompetence. This isn't just a one-time thing, Your Honor. This is something that he's done in 4 or 5 other pleadings. And he's listening to a stupid-ass client who did not go to law school. And she's just dictating what he should be doing. Because reasons. She's a woman. Oh. Yeah, that good old boy club is working so well for you, idiot.
But yet that attorney wanted to sign up on all our cases. I didn't give that to him. We was in court and we had to make him get off the case through the judge. The judge say, hold on, Otiston, you're not appointed by the mayor. And removed him off the case. But this is what I'm dealing with. But no one's telling that.
And we're going to talk about it because I found it interesting.
You ain't posting no court documents.
We talk about Bert Wilson, right? It was in the documentary that we were talking about between the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was a documentary created about this young woman that she's not even a part of. Where they do that at? Only on NBC.
Yep.
But listen, guys.
What?
When you talk about that attorney.
No. Regina Waldrop didn't have to have her on the show. First of all, how do you know she did not reach out to Super Stupid for a comment? If she chooses not to participate in it, what does that have to do with Regina Waldrop still doing her journalistic duties, which is far superior than yours, by the way, Barney, the Cleopatra dinosaur. Far superior than you. Regina Waldrop can run circles around your ass all day with reporting. So let's not even sit here and talk about NBC. That's NBC for you. You will never be able to get a job there, even if you tried. You're not even that smart to be able to ask a question without leading into some nonsense, and then you're just giving her a pass. It's like you're saying, hey, I'm just going to give you this interview on a silver platter for reasons that I honestly have no other reason to do it other than to get my name out there, I guess. Regina Waldrop will mop your ass on the floor. Got time for Barney.
Not just a attorney. He's been around just as long.
You just go back and be extinct.
So when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, also known as the mayor of Dalton. Unrehearsed and uncoerced Tiffany, right?
That's right.
And, some of the accusations, I went down in the weeds of, I'm not asking you the hardball questions. What other hardball question is why you won't quit, bro? Like, I mean, I came out the gate just asking, like, out of all the...
Where are receipts? Why did you fire Phineas Dukes? The Amazon purchase. Where's the itemized invoice? Why didn't you get a copy of that? Or Wayfair? When you went to Alabama on a bridge, how much did that cost? And where are the invoices for that? Or when you took that trip to the White House, how much was that? And why did you charge it to Thornton Township when it should have been charged to the village of Dalton? Why do you keep taking resources and trucks and shoveling slush, snow, and shit in the middle of the night? What were the chitterlings about again? There's so many questions that could have been asked. Just because you don't have the brain power to think of one does not mean that you should have just been giving her a softball interview. I'm not going to know. A softball squabble. 2 chickens decided to roost today. and they laid eggs, and then they had a conversation. That's this bullshit here. That's what this is.
Why not walk away? Like, what other, between the accusations. So I want us to understand, I created a formula. That's the nerd in me. I can't help it. I created a formula because this is what we want.
Oh, God.
We
She
dive
does
into
math,
sensational
too.
journalism. We've made a decision. Either you for or against, or bottom line, she done stole something. They ain't writing all of this just because you did something. And if I was to examine anything you did, is the accusation of you being Tiffany from the block, was that so repulsive? Because they liked it in 2013, right? They liked it in 2017.
Correct.
But one thing that we know, because this is what I was going to walk us into, is some of the regrets, is that everybody don't like it the same way all the time.
Correct.
And at some point, you lost people. And you wouldn't be seeking re-election if you wasn't trying to find them again. Some of them are permanently gone. So what about the evolution of Tiffany are people subscribing to? Because controversial, embattled, whatever verbiage we want to use, you ain't went away. So I don't know, Anna, what other harder questions is there to ask somebody to stand in humility and tell the WVON listening audience where you went wrong? Because everybody, and I want to be clear, falls short of the glory. And it's somewhere you lost people. Where did you lose them? And how are you going to find them again?
So by telling my truth, this is step one. Coming out, speaking out, talking about it publicly, because a lot of times people don't really hear me talk about things publicly. As a leader, we can't dive into every he say, she say comment or question. And majority of the time, I answer their questions. They may not be following me, but then they come to a different venue. I may ask the same question I answered a month ago or 2 days ago. So I can't get caught in that because I still got to focus on my vision, my goals for my city and my township, and also grow and then be a mom and be a girlfriend. Like all these things matter, but people tend to forget.
The highlight of her life is being a girlfriend. I'm glad you recognize that, because nobody's going to marry your bum ass, especially when you get indicted. Dear Kamal's real wife, do not take that idiot back and just get all the alimony and child support out of his black ass that you can get. Ask for that car too she bought him. Yeah, make sure you get that as a part of your alimony package.
You're human. People don't make mistakes. People may not do it your way.
Oh,
but it's
man.
their story.
Who the hell gonna marry her
They
ass?
want us to walk your way.
What an
we put our shoes on
Ewok.
the same way. But we might tie our shoe different, but we get to the same goal. But it's your way.
Being a
So let me be
girlfriend is
in
gold.
my moment, in my government, and I bring a different, what I want to say, bias to it. I might dance, I might sing, but I'm relatable, and that's what they don't like. I'm relatable to the youth. I am having kids state they want to be a mayor. Matter of fact, they want to be a super mayor. Kids that never thought of government or knew what it was. I used to go into the schools and speak to every kid, especially about their mental health. I did a mental health tour throughout Thornton Township. We used to jump from every school. We talked to the kids. I took D-Lo with me, sing with them, and we got a lot of people that opened up and got help from Thornton Township. But they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that side of the city, the caring side, the nurturing side, the mom side, the one that want to see kids do better, be better, and the ones that want to give the resources, make sure you got food on the table. It's $8 now. Who can afford that? We got a whole food pantry. Why don't we have food today in the pantry? Because people playing politics with government. People not coming to board meetings.
No, because
people miss
Keith
over
ate it
8 out of 10
all.
board meetings. Why? We ain't talking about they should lose your seat, let alone get paid. You're not doing the job you got elected to do. When you neglect the people, it's time to go. You should
So
no
talk
longer
to
be
me
there.
about that. So, because you highlighted some facts. Now, there has been a debacle in your administration, to say the least,
Yes.
right? As to why people not showing up, whether it's based off your leadership, you didn't elect them, the people did.
Barney the dinosaur. Spell facts. Define it. There is no way you can call that a fact. Obviously, you don't understand the definition of that term. Why does WVON have this woman on the payroll? Please fire her. She's not very bright. She can't define the term fact. If she can't do that, then why is she there collecting money? Who in the comments on here is just going ham?
To represent them. And if that is their protest, it still is ineffective and it impacts and hurts the people. So that is the equation, and that's undeniable. But what I want to get to, for those that are really trying to connect with you, is where did you fall short? Tiffany from the block rose to become trustee, then mayor of Dalton, then the evolution of supervisor of Thornton Township, ergo super mayor. All of that happened in less than 10 years. But the evolution of you is where folks are questioning some of the decisions, right? Some of the allegations, whether it is your police department and the loss of the fleet, your desire need for protection and security, some of which is valid because you've had credible threats, and some of the choices, right? Where did you fall short?
When I didn't do what people wanted me to do. When you get in power, people come up to you, whether it's them or they send people, and they want you to do certain things. And because I wouldn't, I became the target. You gotta understand, there's a lot of things at stake as it relates to Thornton Township. They wanted contracts, they wanted jobs, they wanted all these things, but I came and I cleaned it up. That was the problem before me. It was the good old boys club. Frank didn't leave a black book. I don't know who's who, what's what. I couldn't tell you nothing. But what I do know is what's right. What I do know is how you clean up a deficit. What I do know is I'm really smart, but people want to play the role that I don't know.
Girl, you are not that smart. The devil is a liar. You are not smart. You don't even want to read. So it's a whole lot of bullshit she said in all of this. And guys, if you can't tell, I'm not responding to every little thing. But good grief. This is painful. This squabble amongst the chicken heads is just painful. Barney the dinosaur is not even trying to define the term fact. And she's sitting here talking about it was a good old boy club. while she fires women and treats them like shit along the way. It's just disgusting. She's got goons and simps, grown-ass men, kissing her ass all day, every day. You want to see her talk about a good old boy club? You're keeping them all on the payroll. You want to ask about a food pantry? Why don't you look inside a Keep Me Chicken Nugget stomach? What the hell is going on?
The position to do better and to grow the township and my village. But people won't allow me to because everybody want to dictate my every move. I ran to lead, not follow. I followed for 8 years. Now I'm in leadership role to make the decision. Because guess what? If it's good, better, and different, I get the hit. The dog walk across the street, it's Tiffany's fault. Somebody on the corner, it's Tiffany's fault. Come on, man. No matter what it is, you're blaming it on the mayor, and that is not how it goes.
Yes, it does.
Run our government.
You're responsible for everything.
Let me pause there because I am going to push back on that statement because that is what we've seen. That is how it goes. It is the mayor's fault. I'm in the city of Chicago with my black mayor and our body of council, and nobody's identifying, oh, well, that alderman or this group did. It is Brandon Johnson 24/7, 24/8. If it was an 8th day, it would be another day that is Mayor Johnson, as though he doesn't have 50 people that control.
Correct.
So, yeah, Tiff, it is the mayor. But what would you say to folks that you are trying to not only court, but push to reelect you? What do you say to them?
Close your mouth, open your ears. Because if you over talking,
Yeah, no, don't vote for her. She wants y'all to close your mouths and open your ears and still hear her ramble and talk about bullshit and lie like hell. To those who still want to support her, you're the scum of the earth, and I hope the earth opens up and swallows all of you in it. I don't even know how else to put that. I'm not going to be nice about it. If you vote for her again and she ends up winning, then I just don't know what else to say about anyone that chooses to sit here and allow their brain cells to fizzle away. What does she do for you all? She doesn't. Bingo is not paying your bills. It doesn't pay your rent. It doesn't keep down your property taxes. It doesn't do any of that. It's certainly not helping to produce financial disclosure statements according to federal law. It's not doing any of that. And you still have people out here that just worship the ground she walks on. If she's not turning them into simps. All she had to do was bring some receipts or something to show here's where the money went. Here it is. You don't believe me? Call the hotel. Call the vendor. Call the merchant. Call Amazon or Wayfair. They can verify. I mean, it will be in their system too. And it's not going to go away. They have this stuff stored on backup servers. What you failed to produce, the FBI will subpoena. So it's going to come to light either way. But the fact that she refuses to produce that information is appalling. She tried to lie about almost $150,000 Chevy Tahoe truck. And that's one of the things that Pink Book Lessons, a phenomenal, fantastic commentator and journalist, YouTuber that broke this story. One of the things she called her, Tiffany Teflon Tahoe. Dropped almost $150,000 on a Chevy Tahoe truck. When the hell did those trucks cost so much money? When did that happen? That's more than what you would pay for a Mercedes or BMW. Perhaps there was a kickback in that. And as opposed to asking her, why did you spend $150,000 on a Tahoe truck? You want to talk about, well, what harbor questions other than why you aren't you leaving? That's a good question too. Why isn't she leaving? She needs to get the hell on because nobody wants her to stay. Except the 12 people that play bingo with her. Fuck out of here. Good grief.
Never hear the other narrative. You got to listen. That's why I do forums, whether it's conversation with the mayor, whether it's township talk. I do them forums to let people hear from me to their questions. And then I also ask questions, even when we're calling, right? And I'm quoting you for a vote. I'm saying, hey, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. I want to know how you continue supporting the upcoming election. And if you tell me, well, I'm undecided, then I say, well, why are you undecided? And then you tell me, well, I don't know right now. What you mean? You have me on the phone. Now you can ask me whatever you want, because it's just you and I. It's not an audience. No one's telling you what to ask me. However you feel, you can ask me while you're happy. And then some people don't say nothing. Some people say, well, I don't know right now. So either you know or you don't, or you got a question or you don't. But people are telling you things. They're vomiting in your ear about negativity, and that's the way you're feeling about a person. And then I also rephrase. I say, how would you feel if I just came to your door and I said, well, they said that you would think, I don't know you from Adam, but this was I heard on the street, but I don't know. I never gave you a chance to explain. I never gave you a chance to talk to me or educate me on your side. I just ouched you. It's like, it's sad because I'm seeing the world treat me as though a person is guilty. And I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not getting treated that way.
Well, you heard it here. Listen, guys, she is open to have the dialogue. So Carl, James, Nate, Justin, I see you got a question. You'll have your time when we come back after this break. Happy
I
Monday.
just have a question because I hear that Tiffany is blaming the trustees, saying that the trustees stole the money or whatever. But if it's the trustees' fault, why are the FBI investigating her and her team and not the trustees? Also, she tries to, put Jason House down when Jason House has shown her nothing but respect and grace, even when she doesn't even deserve it. One more thing.
Just one question, Rashonda. Thank you. So, answer that.
What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? WVON, you should be ashamed of yourselves for not hiring anyone else other than Barney the Dinosaur Draper. You should be shame on you, WVON, for having this woman on your payroll. Disgusting. And this is from an educated black woman. Me, not her. This is coming from me, an educated black woman. She should not have a job. This is absolutely deplorable. She just hung up on her. You brought her into your radio station and you knew that the majority of the people out there are just disgusted with Super Stupid and despise her, and they know they don't owe her a vote. They are not going to vote for her. So you knew that people were going to be calling and asking questions. Whether she likes it or not, you don't hang up on anybody. They're both rude. Both of these chicken heads are ghetto as hell. This is vile and disgusting. And WVON needs to fire Bobblehead Cleo, the dinosaur. Because there is no way in hell you're going to be able to maintain that radio station with this heifer. None. It's not our fault you chose to hire somebody that'll steal a banner or a sign out of the ground. Because she failed at becoming a councilwoman because she had no platform or policies, and she's just as corrupt as Super Stupid. Whose fault is that? Hers. All hers. It's her fault. It is your fault why you failed to become a councilwoman. You kidding me?
What people need to understand about the FBI, everybody's getting investigated. Everybody. So they can assume what they want, but everybody.
Everybody's being
And when you say
investigated.
everybody, are you referring to the current board or?
Yes.
All right, guys, she responded. And when it comes
She's saying the whole board is being investigated. That's what she said.
Everybody. So they can assume what they want, but everybody.
And when you say everybody, are you referring to the current board or?
Yes.
All right, guys. She
Current
responded.
board being
when it comes to the
investigated?
House, I did want to
Really?
respond because ultimately, there's some rules with FCC. So eventually, at some point in time, the House and his crew can come, but the Superman's in the studio. So it's not to allow any besmudging. But she is giving her opinion about it. So I just wanted to contextualize that. But hopefully, you all received her answer. Let's
It's
talk
not
to
a matter of
Kat. Kat, what's
opinion.
the
Good morning and happy MLK Day, Cleopatra.
Oh, same to you. Isn't it a beautiful day?
And I am so glad for your newly appointed position. I praise God for that, and I thank God for you.
Thank you. I received
I
that.
don't think I have any questions for Tiffany. I just have comments. I have comments based upon my observation and what I see of Tiffany. I'm a 40-year resident of Dalton, and first, I do have a question for Tiffany first before I give my comments. Tiffany, what makes you think you can say to the residents, bitch better have my money?
Well, we're not going to curse on the air, Pat, so I want you to be mindful. So
You're not going to curse on her? You are a big-ass hypocrite. Who is your boss? This is deplorable. What a goddamn hypocrisy. And this is my video and I get to say what I want. This is disgusting. She sat there and cussed twice. I think she cussed twice in this whole squabble of whatever this nonsense is. Two chicken heads talking about nonsense. Are you kidding?
let's respond to that because
I have no respect for either one of them.
Right?
None.
You okay with me saying that? You know Angel.
No one is.
But in those statements, whether it's the one from the other day when somebody said something, you
This narcissist really thinks she is, though.
Moment, I presume.
And I mean that, I'm standing on it.
You're standing on it. I heard you say that too. Is what Pat
My God.
referencing any validity to it?
No, it's all fake. And that's what I'm talking about. People got to go back and research the clip. We played a song, and of course it was Rihanna. And the news took it and ran with it. I didn't verbally say that. Why would I say that?
Oh, so
The
you
news
Pat heard the song,
Correct.
And then
The news played it and said, the mayor saying what she just said, and I never said any of that. They played the song because basically they weren't paying the vendors. And the vendors were saying, where my money at?
okay.
And we used the song to reference how they was feeling is what it was. And that's all it was.
and in that moment, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, there are some folks,
You gotta
like right
be
now,
kidding me.
I can say I'm your favorite millennial, right? And there's some folks, oh, no, don't put too much emphasis on that. You don't want them to challenge your intellect and remind you that you're young, but I am. And in that moment of leadership, would you had to play a different song had you knew it was going to catapult?
Yeah,
What is the answer?
Of course I would have. So of course we have our moments where we could have did something better or changed it or changed the value or the tone. Yeah, of course. But guess what? It's called growing pains. You're gonna go through it, but you're gonna grow through it. People can sit there and hold you hostage of what they perceive as a mistake or something you shouldn't have done. Everybody goes through mistakes or things that should have done
Oh
differently.
my
It's called-
God.
And that's what I want to magnify, because when I ask you moments where you fell short of the glory, this is one of them, because it's stuck with a resident.
Stop throwing out, stop weaponizing Christianity, Barney. Stop it. This has nothing to do with God. This is a woman who sits and lies and cheats and steals all day. And the highlight of her life is being a girlfriend. Not a mom, but a girlfriend. Because if she cared about being a mom first, she wouldn't say that I'm trying to be a girlfriend. That's just so dumb. It's dumb. Oh my God. This is infuriating.
Show. See, that's why we don't put young people in office. And see how, whether it's immature or this your response to us, that's appropriate.
Oh, Lord.
And they run with it, right? And then when you come back stronger, they never let that go. Is that what you're asking for? If you can ask for forgiveness in moments where you feel short. You know, for me, here's a growing pain for me in my observation of you, that I laughed for about 6 months until somebody finally told me, you know, that's inappropriate. You know that wasn't cool. And I said, well, why not? And I'm showing a moment where I was immature too. And Nino Brown.
Yeah.
You know, when you came out with the dog.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had New Jack City to the T, and you sent the message. And then when I think about it, I say, well, damn, you know, not maybe. That wasn't the venue. This is my observation. That wasn't the venue. That was a sticking point. That did hit a little different. And now, even though it is funny, it wasn't funny. It wasn't appropriate. What do you say to my critique?
To your critique, I think it was hilarious.
I agree.
See,
I
she's
think
a
that people
narcissist.
took it the wrong way. Number one, I'm a fan of Martin. Everybody say Nino Brown, which you know you do research, it was mimicking that, but I mimicked Martin because I even did a spoof on my TikTok, I think, on one of them things, and I posted it up and I replayed Martin's whole scene. And I do things like that to engage the youth, which it worked. Now I did it before my board meeting. I didn't do it. I wasn't in session. We didn't call the roll. We didn't do none of that. I came in the building and I just did like a little skit.
So it wasn't formal. So
No,
again,
go watch it.
moments I have, but you're contextualizing it, which is why I think you do need opportunities to give in detail. Why you?
Oh my God! Why did
Tiffany
she
Henyard.
play that
And
song?
I think I remember that episode. You're talking about when it was on Neighborhood Watch, right? Right. And he had the dog. But the point is, you know, you're personable, right? You're innovative and you're creative. And
No, she's
you're
not.
done
She's
on-
rude
maybe.
and
I
disrespectful.
don't think it was. I just think the media took it and ran with it. If the media didn't take it, it wouldn't be as big as it is today. The media made it what it is. And I do say that's what they got. They got the national attention. And people tend to...
You put yourself out there, girl, for the media to sit here and hone in on you. You became a global phenomenon for all the wrong reasons. You chose to do that. No one forces you to do a live or post up videos where you run your mouth or go to these meetings where you're disgustingly vile and disrespectful and rude. See, I have no quarrel with calling her super stupid and many, many other names all day, every day. Because I have zero respect for this clown. Because she has no respect for anyone else. So you don't get respect out of me when you're disrespecting other black women. And all you want to sit here and talk about is your skin color and you having a kid that you seem to be proud of, you raising on your own. And the highlight of your life is going to be someone else's girlfriend while he's still legally married. You are the worst specimen of anything that has crawled upon this earth. You and Barney the dinosaur, who should be sitting somewhere extinct right now. No, we got to sit here and listen to this squabble.
Clicks and views too. They got to sell news, so they chop it up like they did Rihanna song to make it look worse than what it is, and it wasn't that. I even did Forrest Gump. Why didn't get no traction? I do all kinds of things, but I do it to engage community and also mainly the youth, and it actually works.
All right, so let's talk to James. James, welcome to WVON.
It didn't work. People are offended.
James, we're going to put James back on hold. Let's talk to Nate. Nate, welcome to WVON.
Hey, how you doing? Happy Martin Luther King Day.
I know, right? Happy Martin Luther King Day.
And so, Tiffany stated that Frank didn't leave her a blue book. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know, who to call on. But she ended up terminating everybody that knew exactly how the township operated in the appointed seat that she was appointed in. I just want to ask why she got rid of the blue book. The employees that knew how the township functioned in every department. Not every department, but administration. Myself, after working there 14 years.
So you were an employee.
Absolutely.
And what was your role?
I was the media specialist.
Why does that matter? Why does that matter, Barney? Why does it matter? And who the hell wears two-piece leather suits now? Who's still wearing it? Why does it matter? Just let her answer the question. If you're going to be biased, at least don't sit and just over-talk the conversation. She needs to be fired. How did she get this job? You're god-awful at this. You need to be fired. WVON should be ashamed of themselves of having her on this payroll. Good God in heaven.
Video photography work. I managed our website.
Okay.
Yep, pretty much all of that good stuff.
So we get into them personal tea leaves. Thank you so much, Nate.
Who cares? Who
First
cares?
of all, people terminate themselves. I didn't terminate anyone. If you're not doing your job, you don't have a job. It's just that way. People can get mad at the leader all they want. So that's what my answer is to that.
All right, well, listen, guys. Justin, Dylan, Eddie,
Oh,
Lynette,
wow.
LaDonna, Art, Lena. All I ask is when you all call, refrain from anything other than the King's English. And then let's be respectful and let's be swift. Whatever your question is, Superman is willing to answer it.
While she speaks broken English, Ebonics, and the language of the Ewoks. What the hell are you talking about? King's English? Girl, this is the United States of America. We are no longer under the monarchy of Great Britain. At the end of the day, neither of you are speaking King's English. You're over-talking her throwing these stupid ass questions out here. And then when she's asked a question that she needs to answer, you don't let her. Why are you talking about speaking the King's English? You're the worst. You are the worst person on earth right now, next to Super Stupid. Both of you are clowns. Clowns.
The other side. We'll be back after this break.
You're listening to Cleopatra.
Hello?
Hey, you're on live.
Oh, okay, it's Loretta.
Oh, forgive me. Yes, ma'am.
The reason I'm calling is because I just went through something, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to make a big issue out of this because a lie can destroy your character, and not only that, it can put you in financial deficit. My granddaughter put an order of protection on me and his girlfriend, and I was not able to see my son. And what I'm hearing from the mayor is that a lot of things with these lies are out here, and there's nothing to protect you. And what happens is that your character is destroyed. You have to get lawyers, and it costs you I don't know how much money for the lawyers. And if she's telling the truth, something has to be done, and I'd like to get with her so we can do something about this, because the person can just come in and put an order of protection on you or can lie on you.
So you notice she didn't pause it while this lady was asking a question because it seemed like something that wouldn't hurt her feelings because reasons. Fire her, WVON. Fire Cleopatra Draper.
Tears that I've shared and the lies that have been told and how it has affected me and my family.
I thank you so much. I really do. And the mayor receives that. And actually, we were just talking about this in terms of, bottom line is, you're a whole lot of things. You're a personality, you're confident, you're a lot of things. You know, Angel, but you are who you are, and you recognize that bottom line is that there are moments where you could have did things differently. You don't ever get to speak to that, right? In between the show,
why are you leading?
Some of you all are going to call in about, it's not a trip to Vegas. It was an economic development conference, right?
Correct.
That's your entire board went to,
Yeah.
right? But the foci is always you, right? And I say that because the foci, you're the head honcho, right? So that's undeniable. But the actions of what people did and didn't do, and so on and so forth, you held accountable for that too. And that's what
Stop leading.
Right? So to hear her impede upon her story of protecting her character and just the financial strife it's caused her as just a woman, I can only imagine the endless strife that continues to.
Stop leading. Worst radio station anything ever. She does not need to be doing this. She needs to be emptying trash and figuring out how to get more crude oil out of her bones. I mean, it's just disgusting. Why is she still employed there? Are you serious? Stop leading her into these simple ass questions.
Argue, right? So I think that I want you to receive that because she's connecting with you on another level that ain't got nothing to do with the devil in the details of what you think people hear. People just seeing your story. So let's talk to Justin. Justin, what say you? Welcome to WVON.
Yes, good morning and happy MLK Day.
Same to you.
The man goes on to say about wanting to be a role model to our young people. But I'm wanting to know, I'm not sleeping with a married man. Is that a role model?
So is that your fact or is that an allegation that you're spewing? Which is it, Justin?
It's a fact.
Thank you so much
It's
for
a
that.
fact.
You don't have to respond to that if you don't want to. So
Girl, you the worst. No, she gotta
This
go.
is where people get it twisted at, right? Everybody's so engulfed in my life that they don't even know what's going on. Just like anybody else, if they go through a divorce, that means they can't date nobody. So people need to stop with the mess. If somebody still attached somebody and somebody won't let them go, how you feel that person can still live their life? So people need to stop using words of because somebody's mid.
Going through a divorce is not divorced because he's still legally married. And who knows if he was with you while he was actually still cohabitating with his wife and living a married life with his wife. How you know you weren't the damn home wrecker that came in and took this man away from his wife like that? And it's not just her fault in this situation, it's his fault. He chose to abandon his family and play daddy to her daughter while you don't never see him with his own damn kids. I've yet to see him in a video or a picture with his own children. And to be honest, I don't blame the mother for not letting them kids be around him like that because they don't need to be exposed to all this. So, but it's just ironic how you see him with her daughter more than you see him with his own kids.
Or whatever. I've been with Kamal for 4 years. 4 years we've been together. He's been going through a divorce for 4 years. And anybody that's fighting a divorce or going through things
4 years.
With your ex, y'all know what I'm talking about. So people need to stop worrying about my personal life and judge me on government. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for you to talk about my personal life. Because when we go home, when we talk to each other, guess what? It's me and him. It's nobody else's business. But yet everybody want to be
Okay, so you do live with him. You do live with him. Right, you said that in the video. You do live with him.
Anybody that's fighting a divorce or going through things that you're fighting with your ex, y'all know what I'm talking about. So people need to stop worrying about my personal life and judge me on government. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for you to talk about my personal life, because when we go home, when we talk to each other, guess what? It's me and him. It's nobody else's business. But yet everybody want to be in our business.
Okay, so when we go home, it's me and him. So you do live with him. You do live in that house. It's not like your name has never been on that lease agreement. But you live with him. You live there. You're telling on yourself, and we love it. I'm glad you said that. Because now it's irrefutable that you actually do reside with this man. You trying to get your name off of court documents and all this other stuff, talking about I didn't sign no lease. But you live with him. You cohabitate that home with him. And I'm sure if anyone had to pop in and do like a surprise inspection, they would see all your shit there. So yeah, you live with him. Great. You admitted it. Thank you.
I'm with that. Do you think it's because you're a woman?
Thank you.
Because if a man did it, y'all wouldn't have a problem with it.
Y'all heard it here. Let's talk to Lena. Lena, welcome to WVON.
Thank you for admitting you live with him.
We're good. Thank you so much.
I would like to say I am a Dalton resident. I'm a long-time Dalton resident. Ms. Mayor, I am not a senior citizen, and I am not a youth. And I would like for you to at some point acknowledge those of us that are in between. We are people too. And I heard her ask you, where's the turnaround for you? What do you think you fall short at, and how are you willing to fix things going forward? And I don't think you answered that. Now I'm going to ask you a question.
She answered
one of those
nothing.
people that got denied for this homeowners grant that you said everybody qualified for to get new windows, their driveways fixed, and things of that nature. And then a day later, it turned around to be a sin. That's your thing only. Ms. Tiffany, if you're allowed to move forward, how you going to include us in the middle that's just like you, that's 40 years old too? What you going to do?
One thing about Elena, that is a superb question. Thank you so much for that call, because it's real. Let's answer, Superman.
So basically, with the grant, we made it for seniors and veterans first, because they are on fixed incomes, and they're the ones who are struggling. I'm not saying the most, but really the most, because they don't have money to fix something
They
major
don't
like
have other disposable income.
Correct. So that's what it was for. Now, the second grant that I pushed out, and of course the board controls the purse and stopped it, is to fix driveways, security doors, things of that nature. That was for anybody. So when she say denied, no one denied anybody like
Because
that.
it hasn't moved forward?
It has not.
And when,
No.
let me magnify what the Superman is saying. When she said control the purse, that's a political verbiage. She's talking about maintaining the fiscal budget and access to it, right? So, Lena, in other words, don't sit tight. Hold her accountable. And I'm saying this, but she looking me dead in my eyes, these big eyes of hers, because she's right. We are sandwiched in between, right?
What is this with this eye contact shit she keep bringing up? Why do you keep talking about her looking in your eyes and looking in your soul and all this other stuff? What's wrong with you? How is it not a little sus or something? What's going on with that? Oh, she looking at me in my eyes and my soul, y'all. She just pierced my heart. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you keep saying that? What does that have to do with anything? It sounds weird. You're being weird, Barney. Purple Teletubby decides to be weird today. Good grief.
And often, Lena, I feel you, like most things is for the elderly and then the youth, and then the rest of us, we just own our own. It's not just a Dalton thing, and I'm not defending or negating.
Right.
But to hold her accountable is to come up with something creative and innovative to capture the
Shut
in-between.
up.
I'm willing to do that, Superman.
Of course I am, because think about it. I am a trendsetter. So everything I have produced, every town has mimicked. So if I wasn't doing something right, why are you mimicking my formula? So other people don't make them first, but I did in my community. Then when the board starts getting so much traction on helping everybody, they start to destroy. And that's
And
what
what she's referring to is name ID, guys. So, in other words,
Oh my
you
God,
can
woman.
get it, but you can't run that. Okay, so listen, do you have time to stay with us through the rest of these calls? Because they're going to get big mad at me if you leave and you got like 4 more people. You got a
I'll
few.
do one more, 'cause
Okay,
you said 10:30.
so, yeah, so when we come back, I got to take a break. Jennifer, she hanging tight, y'all. So, if everybody thinks she's running, she only running to come knock your door near you if you live in Dalton. 8-mile radius. I got this.
There's a little ad, something, whatever. Little, I don't know what that was, but intro into Bobblehead Cleo. And she is married with 2 sons, a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. And then I just heard a bunch of yada, yada, yada after that. So, you're married with 2 sons, a member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. You went to college, you got an education, and you don't know how to ask a question? You are the worst.
For Mayor, Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, also known as the Mayor of Dalton. And we have been building
What
up
an
to a point where,
embarrassment.
when folks are saying, where them hard questions at? It's nothing like facing the reality that you are seeking re-election.
I am.
And I think I've accepted from you that you are prepared to win or lose, but you're going to have to duke it out at the ballot box, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going to win. Hands down. Landslide.
Now, see, that confidence, it's some contagion, right? Now, if
the
she
hell?
falls short, then she's going to eat crow. It's only one way to do this. Either you win or you lose. Ain't no in between. And I know you know that in your tenure, in your career.
Correct.
And, with the calls that we've taken thus far, I definitely see LaDonna Ray on the live line. So let's talk to LaDonna. Welcome to WVON.
Yes, good morning. And good morning, Cleopatra Draper. Congratulations, of course, Mayor Tiffany Henyard. I want to say that with respect, okay? Mayor Tiffany Henyard. I'm in your township. And
What
I
a
see your passion.
narcissist.
I see your passion for our community. It's undeniable. It could use a little bit of polishing. I think that people take it the wrong way, as you can see. But who has offered to assist you? Everyone's ready to crucify. But like, who has offered to come out and help you? Like, I'm offering to come out and help you in any way you need. Because there's so much good that can come from you being the mayor and the superintendent versus not being in that seat. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to lend you whatever you need. And I think that everyone is waiting for the crucifixions of the questions and bring out the dirt. And it's so unfortunate because divided we fall and united we stand. We totally need someone with your passion. That can't be taught. With your heart. That can't.
You don't need someone with passion that's under FBI investigation and stealing money. You need someone that can produce financial records and invoice statements and do the right thing and treat people with respect. Not raise property taxes, trying to make up for the deficit she created when she inherited a surplus based on budgets and financial reports. What the hell are you talking about? And there's no way to help her. She's not going to win. She don't have the votes for mayor. She doesn't have the votes. Nobody's going to reelect her ass twice. Ain't nobody going to do that. I keep telling y'all she's going to cheat like hell. Y'all might want to be careful. Be careful.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So that is true, right? Her energy is unmatched. You drank coffee today?
No.
So this is real.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, so this is real. And it's a natural fit. Now, how do you synergize
What?
and channel that for those that care about Dalton, as opposed to throw away the baby with the bathwater, right? So you got some infighting going on. That's noted. But yet and still, you ain't backing down,
Correct.
right? And at the end of the day, it's up to the people to say yay or nay. And when folks did say nay to the recall, what did you say then?
I thanked them. I went door to door. I spoke to everybody, and I appreciate them for allowing me to continue what they started. They elected me. There's no way I should have been in a recall. I just got in office, and every single judge told them that. But yet they went to every level: circuit court, appellate court, Supreme Court. Every one of them told them, no, we're not recalling.
And you go to no
Tiffany, and I did
Supreme
not get
Court.
recalled. So I was able to keep my seat because remember,
You didn't
just
go to
got in
Supreme
office.
Court,
Now,
so
as we
she's
seen,
still
my vote was
dumb.
already voted
She's
before I
still
even
dumb when it
got
comes to courts.
settled. I didn't know what a light switches was or what none was. A village hall to start the infighting. It was ridiculous. So after that, then they removed me off a bank account, which was illegal and unconstitutional. I had to fight that for about a year in court.
How was it unconstitutional? Wait a minute. Because, you keep talking and running your mouth and you telling on yourself. So,
Settled. I didn't know what a light switches was or what none was. A village hall to start the infighting. It was ridiculous. So after that, then they removed me off a bank account, which was illegal and unconstitutional. I had to fight that for about a year in court. They put Jason and Allison. They walked into a bank branch, put Jason on a.
how was it illegal and unconstitutional? How? Cite one law. Give an amendment. We'll wait. And it better have case law. It better be structured properly. I would love to know how you being taken off of a bank account for misappropriating funds and failing to produce financial disclosures and invoices was unconstitutional. Please explain that, because the FBI is watching.
Account remove the mayor of the town off the bank. Where's millions of dollars? So I said, people don't know half the story. They just know what the news feed them, but you need to go chase the facts. And in doing so, guess what? I went on account for a whole year. So again, you keep saying, Tiffany over this, Tiffany over that. That's not true. I don't deal with money. I don't move money. None of that's true. But this is the false information that's out there. And that leads me to this with Lori. She came and did a report. My board hired her.
And what she's talking about, y'all, listen, she's talking about the former mayor of the city of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot.
That y'all fired, right? Y'all said get out of here, and y'all said y'all want Brandon Johnson, right? Okay, so why is she in my town? Why is she in Little Dalton? There's 23,000 residents fighting with me over whatever they think it is, right? The board hired her $400 an hour. That's what $100 every 15 minutes to pay her and her staff, not just her and her staff to come.
How much is Max Solomon getting paid? How much is the clown, goofy ass attorney they hired for this election board hearing thing that we're going to cover in the next video? How much is he getting paid? Because Keith Fatfuck and Michael Smith aren't attorneys, and they're trying to do objections on reasons. So how much of these attorneys you all keep hiring, you and your goons keep hiring, how much are they getting paid? I mean, Max Solomon literally got severely reprimanded in 2 seconds from probably being sanctioned, because the judge can change his mind. He can change his mind. How much is he getting paid again? I'm sorry, maybe I missed that number that came out of your mouth in the midst of all that other bullshit you squawking out. This squabble is stupid.
Right? If you got the feds there and all these people there, they trump everybody. So why are we paying money that y'all claim we don't have, number one, right? And then y'all ball her.
Because they're investigating something criminal.
She give you a report with
Lori
no
Lightfoot was
no
civil.
information. She didn't itemize it. She didn't tell you what it is, but she wanted you to believe that I was the one spending or doing things. I'll give you a prime example. Amazon bill, they said they spent $40,000, right? And they alluded to, it's the mayor. It's Tiffany. Tiffany don't do nothing
in one day.
In one day. I don't do shit with credit cards. Nothing with credit cards. Nothing with money at all. It just bothers me because it's just the lies they tell and I start getting attacked, right? Off a lie. Like the lady said before, she's right. You get attacked, you gotta fight the lie. And you start telling them,
Produce the invoice, chicken head. Produce the invoice and prove us wrong.
didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's not me.
So what do you say to the trolls? Because, I was going
Oh, no,
you brought
trolls.
it up,
Oh,
but even
no.
down to your wardrobe, right? This is what kills me. So it was one picture where folks found an outfit that they found on Amazon and alluded that because of the
Because
$40,000
she's
day,
spending tax dollars to buy them.
Ridiculous.
and you saying that you didn't have access to the credit
I
card.
don't. It tells you. Just like everybody got Amazon accounts, right? It tells you who bought the item, when they bought the item, what the item is. Why did she tell y'all that? But I'm gonna tell you on this show today. On the show today, when I did my research, when I saw that fake report went out, that's why I don't trust nothing they say or people they bring in because it's all geared to make one person look bad to try to make them look good and cover up what they've been doing. And that's what I'm going to expose. On that one day, you know what they bought? Ice for the rink. Ice. That's what it was. I made.
Where's the receipt? I'm sorry, I mean candy. Where's the receipt? What is the damn receipt for the ice? First of all, that's not how it works with ice skating rinks. You can't just buy ice and put ice on top of an ice skating rink. You have to lay down the liquid ice with the machine and give it some layers back and forth, and then that has to be maintained. Do you know how much money it costs to maintain an ice skating rink? That's not cheap. That's why you don't see a whole lot of them, because it's expensive to maintain. Well, who approved for it to be paid for in the beginning? Okay, where's the receipt for this ice? You are lying about being purchased from Amazon with no receipt. Where's the invoice? Dear FBI, Exhibit A.
Janice and Mike Smith, when I was trying to appoint him as my assistant and my VA and all that, I had them go do the research for me and tell me what those items were. And they came back, and that's what it said, ice. And the ice is for the ring, where you put the little pieces down and have ice so they can ice skate. That's what it was for. But yeah, they alluded to, I went shopping, I bought this, I did that. Not true. All fake.
So it was one purchase.
It was
and this ice skating rink, was it in the town?
It's for dollars. It's dollars.
Okay.
But they bought ice. That's what it was. That's what the money was
I
for.
read that nowhere, so you got that here.
Yeah. So I want to give you that little piece of information. I'm doing my report too. So when I put my facts out of my report of my own, because I'm
You
going
can't order ice for a skating rink from Amazon.
Looking over here. It's just a distraction to make a person do something.
Jennifer, let's take your call real quick. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning. Good morning, Cleopatra, and happy MLK
She's so
Day.
stupid.
I was listening to Tiffany when she said that the people fired themselves. My question to Tiffany is, why would she fire a sexual assault victim that was sexually assaulted, allegedly, by one of her town, her...
Yeah, I heard her say allegedly.
She is yet working, but she fired the victim. My question to her is, why would she fire a victim and keep a predator on the payroll?
Now, Jennifer, before I let you go, I do want to...
She said allegedly.
I want to magnify alleged because he has not been found guilty, correct?
No one needs you to do that. No one needs you to do that, Barney. Thank you, Barney. No one needs you to do that. We all know what alleged means. She said alleged. Alleged. She said it.
I said allegedly.
I know that, but when you said a sexual predator, you're still putting him as though he is, and he has not been found guilty yet, correct?
She said alleged.
Okay, because I want to be mindful as a mother of two black boys. When we talk about this black man and this black woman, and the word allegation, until he's found guilty, I won't allow us to call him a sexual predator until I see the
Get
results
off of it and let her answer the
I think that's
question.
okay. So I thank you for your call, and she's going to respond, but I needed to contextualize that.
So you should ask her, why is her husband stalking me?
That's
Why
not
is
an
her
answer to the
husband
question.
Stalking me.
Objection, non-responsive. Let me tell you something. I have 2 sons myself. And the last thing I'm ever going to do is sit here and have my children think it's okay to do something, or even allegedly, or be accused of it. Because then the question would come into play, what happened to lead to such an allegation like that in the first place? I would have taken my son to go get a lie detector test if I have to. Polygraph him. We're going to get to the bottom of this. You sitting here talking about... I have 2 black sons, so therefore I'm not going to let you sit here and just not say alleged when she said alleged. She said allegedly. She said it. How many times she have to keep saying it, asking the same question? Please fire Cleopatra the dinosaur.
Like, this is what I'm dealing with. You got all them haters on it. That's all haters. I can tell you every last one of them. That's why I say so when I talk, I want to talk
to is, like, let me break it down. Superman can see the names, right? And she's correlating some of the experiences.
Oh my
and
God.
I want you to answer because we talked about this real briefly before we go to break. Andrew Holmes was in play before you got there, correct?
He was already a trustee.
That's irrelevant.
With Riley Rogers.
Irrelevant.
Riley Rogers was the mayor when you were installed as a trustee. So he was already there. And then the pressing question is clear. Why retain him and then you clip her? We could talk about that on the other side.
Irrelevant.
If you're able to. But at the end of the day, I want to contextualize. At times in America, we will pursue as though folks are guilty before they're proven innocent. And until that man is proven guilty, I want us to contextualialize what allegedly means. And it's not to dismiss that young lady. I promise you. But it is to
You are
bring some equity to
dismissing
the
her.
space of what the seriousness of the nature is, and then how you are in the middle of it, per usual, Superman. So when we come back, she'll answer that. And then I gotta let her go, y'all. She gotta go to work. She gotta go knock some doors.
She ain't got no
And she gotta
damn
go try
job.
her- It's based off facts, right? So I'm reading
What
what the definition
fact?
may be for
What
services.
fact?
But when you haven't had trees pruned in 30 years, I mean, either you're going to do it or you're going to be out. So one thing we know about any elected office, are you performing the roles and responsibilities of that office to sustain your seat? And the biggest thing in your domain,
The
in
answer
your
is
world,
no.
is constituent services. Right? So, as we're calling in, we're talking about some of the issues,
Cleopatra,
I want us
you
to
ain't
understand
shit.
a big cloud that hovers over the super mayor's head is the rain of gossip. It's some hot tea. But just because it came out the air don't mean it is water. It might be piss and you ain't even know it, and you just basking in it because they told you it was rain. And that's what I think in translation she's saying. Like, it's not even where you're getting it. Is it rooted? So even the previous calls, we're talking about the battles and the ups and downs of Andrew Holmes. He is yet to even be charged, right? So it's not to negate the possibilities of what transpired. I'm not here to speak to that. As a woman,
Oh, God. He is yet to be charged, but the lawsuit itself is not against the actual essay allegation. It is about her being wrongfully terminated because she reported an alleged essay allegation with the officer that he who will not be named in the Lady Luck Club contacted allegedly. So you have two credible witnesses that are going to be giving testimony in that civil proceeding in court. And they're going to mop the floor with his ass. And you get hit with some sort of defamatory lawsuit of some sort. Because you're just irritating as hell at this point. The leading into these simple ass questions that are being asked of her. If she can't answer a question without Cleopatra, the Barney dinosaur that should not still exist on Earth at this point, leading her into the question, then she really is stupid. Bottom line. She didn't even answer the question. She talked about somebody's husband stalking her. Don't nobody want to damn stalk your dumb ass girl.
I acknowledge
that
whatever it is, let him be judged by a jury of his peers and let that young lady be made whole, right? And whatever
we're
that
jury
like,
of his peers. That's just regular citizens,
she
right?
led the trip to an economic business development conference that her entire body went to because the opportunities are endless that you can bring back resources to Dalton. So I think sometimes when I'm contextualizing what transpired and what's the big picture,
what invoice receipts and stuff?
Tiffany, you tell me if you agree. Personally, do you like me? Politically, do you respect me? And then from a campaign standpoint, do you support me? And some of them boxes are going to be skewed, right? You may like how I get things done, but you may not like how I do it. You may like what I'm doing, but you may not like what I say. And we see that from the top of the ticket, whether it was Kamala running, to our governor, to the mayor of the city of Chicago, and then we see the super mayor. And a lot of people may not like your way of doing things. So when I did ask, if you fell short of the glory, how are you showing up different? What is your answer?
So my answer is basically being more
glory.
I want to say more accessible because I am more. How can I say it? They got more access to me than ever. Like, I want people to come more to conversation with the mayor, things of that nature, to talk about whatever their issues are, instead of allowing the media to tell them what our issues are in our town. I'm at your door, I'm on your phone, I'm on your radio waves, so you can always hear my point of view. But if you guys don't meet me in the middle, we'll never be able to unify. And that's my goal for my community.
No.
I want to heal my community. I want to apologize.
Super Stupid is not a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. They're not sorority sisters. They are not. I can't even fathom if DST would even tolerate her dumbass. And honestly, Bobblehead Cleo shouldn't be a member of DST either. He's a stripper of it. Kick her ass out. No, we don't deal with that nonsense you putting up with over there. Nope. She should definitely be fired. WVON, you all, this is not the way you become infamous. If you want to be infamous for all the wrong reasons, yeah. But you're not going to have a radio station. You keep going at this rate with this woman. Y'all got to get rid of Draper. We don't have time for the weird Teletubby here that keeps gazing into her eyes and her soul and shit. Sitting here trying to damn throw these squabble sessions where they just... I mean, it's insanity. And she's hanging up on people in mid-sentence and asking questions. They of course, people are going to call in and ask tough questions because obviously Draper is not smart enough to ask an actual challenging question her damn self.
My community for all the negativity, all the hurt behind the drama, which was brought by my board to my city, because I would never put a black eye on Dalton. I love Dalton too much for that. Everybody stays there that I love and care about. So why would I make it bad for them, or let alone my residents? So I just want people to understand that part for me. I'm hurt by all the people.
You're worse.
It's a lot.
But what I took away from that is that you apologize to the city of Dalton. So for those that can hear, right, and feel, at the end of the day, you don't make your decisions. And this is not to be pro or for or against you. It was to give you a platform to be heard, because some of the details this tea you was spilling, we ain't gonna read it nowhere. And you got it authentically from the Superman, right? So for all the calls that are coming in, we definitely appreciate it. I want to acknowledge your time.
Thank you.
And I want to welcome you to talk about your reelection. What does that look like?
Okay, we're done. That was pretty much the end of that. So, as you all can see here, This came from NBC Chicago. And they obtained a copy of the subpoena. This was to testify before a grand jury. This lets you know, this was May of last year, by the way. This lets you know that they're going to be seeking an indictment from a grand jury. Testifying is actually considered evidence in a case. And thank God for it. So, the subpoena that was served from the FBI included not only demand for testimony, but it also included a list of documents. Here is certified copies of all records in your possession. The following individuals, whether held jointly or severally. Some of the words are cut off. But they're basically saying, listen, this is what we want. Certified copies of. And you see Keith Freeman there. This would have been his social, so I blacked that out. Collab Inc., Collab Leaders, Keith Freeman LLC with the EIN. So that indicates some sort of business. Heirs to Heaven. That's another business. Freeman Ventures Ltd. That's another business. The rest of these are businesses. So I didn't black out the EINs because those are typically available to the public. Rabble Razor Inc., Collab Equity Crowding, Collab Equity Investment Security, Government Staffing Advisors Inc. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 businesses listed with the EINs that the FBI subpoenaed records for. Certified copies of those records, along with anything related to Keith Freeman, the individual. So, you want to talk about the FBI investigating everybody? No, they're not. That's not how they operate. This is how they operate. This is a synopsis of what we investigate from the FBI.gov website. That's what it says up there at the top. What we investigate. So there are primarily going to be two scopes of this investigation that the FBI will focus on. One will be related to what's considered white collar crime. And if you can read this here, you can go on the FBI.gov website, pull this information up. But basically, of course, the white collar program focuses on analyzing intelligence, solving complex investigations, often with a connection to organized crime activities. And of course, they have a list of regulatory agencies that they typically partner up with. And this is basically over glamorized financial crimes. Anything related to embezzlement, money laundering, fraud, whether you're defrauding the elderly, an individual, a company, or the government. And there are various types of frauds. You can have check fraud, bank fraud, securities fraud. There's so many sub-levels to that. And white collar crimes are the most difficult cases to defend in court. Any criminal defense attorney will tell you that. There are attorneys that specialize in litigating white collar crimes because they're extraordinarily difficult and very, very cumbersome. A lot of paperwork. You got to get analysts and forensic accountants and auditors to look at all these financials, and depending on the scope, as far as the time frame of what you're looking at, if you're looking at maybe what's happened within the last 3 years versus the last 30 years. Think about someone like Bernie Madoff, who got caught up in his Ponzi scheme that went on for over 20 years, too damn long. They had to look at 20 years worth of records. It took years. Victims are still receiving, disgorgement and funds from the government from Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. So that gives a glimpse of how cumbersome these types of cases can become, and the length of time it might take for someone to receive damages from, being victimized due to white collar crimes, or the fact that the FBI investigation, albeit is moving slow as hell, and I wish the FBI would hurry the hell up. Hurry up. Please speed this up. This could be a reason why it's taking a little bit longer than people anticipated, because of the nature and the scope of what they're investigating. Now, I showed the list because it's proof that the FBI is not investigating everybody. That was a damn lie from the pit of hell, and that's all Super Stupid knows how to do. Lie, 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 and lie some more. But they are not investigating everybody. They're not going to put time, energy, and resources into doing any of that dumbass shit. They're not going to do it. They're going to focus in on the people they need to focus in on. They have tactics that have worked for decades, and they're always watching. So they're not investigating everybody in Dalton. They're investigating her ass. They had Keith Freeman listed on the subpoena, and then all those businesses. Now, I highly doubt the trustees have those businesses listed in their name or have any connection to them. That's why I'm saying that they're not investigating everybody in Dalton. They would have had those people listed if they wanted to get information out of them through the subpoena. The Dalton trustees' names would be listed in the subpoena. But see, when you don't read, Super Stupid, this is what happens. Green eggs and ham does not count at this point. You're too old for that shit. Oh, God. So this is kind of like some examples of the white collar crimes. But if you guys look down under self-dealing by corporate insiders and you see insider trading, then you see this word kickbacks. This has come up a few times in some of the reportings. I know I've mentioned it in a couple of my videos regarding kickbacks. Basically, you go out, you go buy something, and it's like overly priced. You work out this deal with whomever you're, buying some item from. I'm just using an example here. Let's take the Tahoe truck that Super Stupid bought for $150,000. Because that truck is not normally priced and valued at $150,000. One can imagine, why in the world would anyone want to spend that type of money for one vehicle? Well, the question then would come up, are they getting something out of that? So if you go and you give somebody $150,000 for a Chevy Tahoe truck that trends around maybe $70,000, $80,000, depending on what you got souped up in it, and still would not be $150,000 with interest, it would not be. One has to ask, if the truck is valued at about $80,000, she spent $150,000. Where's the rest of the $70,000? That $70,000 could be what's considered a kickback if she received the money. So it would be a matter of her going, getting the truck, paying for the truck for $150,000, but then when that vendor or the dealership, whoever works there, that decided to be a part of that shady ass deal, they go cash the check or whatever they gave them as form of payment, there's a credit that ends up on that account for that vehicle. And that credit is then what they issue back to Super Stupid. So I'm just giving the flat out most general example that I can think of that's relatable. So for that $150,000, the price tag may have had $80,000 on it. So that's going to generate a credit or an overpayment of about $70,000. Naturally, they're going to give that money back to the purchaser. And she could easily say, don't put it in this account, put it in this account. So hopefully that's what they're investigating and connecting the dots for. Trying to figure out, if this didn't cost, this is not valued at $150,000. And if we find out the price tag on it should have been actually half of that, now we have to figure out where the other half went. Then they have to do a trace to figure out where this money went. And if they shifted it around to different accounts, they're going to follow the money wherever it leads them. So that would be considered the kickback. That refund she gets for that overpriced damn Chevy Tahoe truck, that's what's considered a kickback. You're kicking back that money that's left over back to me, but instead of it going back to, the village of Dalton in their account, is going into an account. She has access to those money, that fund. That's the example of a kickback. So that's something that takes time to have to get the records for that. You got to get through the actual quote for that vehicle from the dealership, or if it's another Tahoe dealership or Chevy dealership, and that same exact truck can be priced and valued, then you can have that to say, okay, this truck typically only costs $80,000. We got this information from another Chevy dealership where they typically charge about the same amount of money for this type of vehicle. Why did she give them $150,000? What account did it go to? And then when she got the kickback, where did that money go to? There's a lot of steps that occur within that. Just from the example I gave. Going to the banks, because she tried to lie about it and hide it, and thankfully, Kiana Belcher was able to get that invoice for the car, for that truck. But it is not easy to get these bank statements from the bank if you're not an account holder. And if the clerk can get it, great. Produce it. But that's only one facet of it. Because you got to figure out where the money went when it went to the dealership. It may not have gone to the account with the dealership. Not all of it. Never know. She could have given that person 2 checks. One for 80, one for 70, and then, no, it was 1 check. Because I think she had the payment in it. But even so, you got to figure out where that money went to when it went to the dealership. And then who had access to that account that could easily transfer or pull it out to give her the remaining of what was overpaid based on the value or the price tag of the truck. And if she truly spent $150,000 for a truck that actually cost that much money, then she has some jacked up damn credit and she needs to kick rock for real. And here's the second aspect of the investigation that they could possibly be looking into, and that deals with public corruption. So you guys, like I said, can go on the FBI.gov website and look this information up. But I want to bring your attention down to where it says our public corruption program focuses on this first bullet point right here, which would be the most relevant in this with the type of investigation that they're doing and whom they're investigating. So they, of course, investigate violations of federal law by public officials at the federal, state, and local levels of government. So super stupid, it's a mayor. That would be a local level government position, her being an elected public official. She is not exempt from following federal laws. That mayoral position is not going to protect her from being indicted, having to go to hearings, hopefully and preferably be found guilty and go to prison. She's not going to be exempt from any of that because she's somebody's mayor. That's not how it works. So this is just another aspect of the case that they could be looking into. So you have the white collar crimes and then you have the public corruption. And more than likely, that's what they're trying to tie into. Now, my guess is wherever the evidence leads them, that's where they're going to go. But if they're able to pull in some charges that are easy to prove and meet a burden on, such as hypothetically RICO, that comes up a few times in some of the reportings and other videos with YouTubers and stuff. You guys out there doing a great job, by the way. Keep it up. But that charge has been thrown out there about whether or not she could be charged with RICO. Well, if there's sufficient evidence and they meet the parameters to actually be able to charge her with RICO charges, it would not be impossible to imagine that. RICO is basically dealing with some racketeering and it's just a part of an organized crime or some sort of syndicate. You have a lot of moving parts and a lot of people in it and a lot of money shuffling around where you're still doing something illegal, whether it's selling drugs, alcohol, it's scamming, it doesn't matter. So these are the two main things you can probably expect to be a part of this FBI investigation. And another thing I wanted to bring up was this whole mess with her dumbass boyfriend. So if you guys see here, this is on Trellis website. They're pretty good with being able to post up pleadings and stuff like that once it's made available on the docket to the court, meaning the document has been filed and stamped. They typically access, court filings are public information. So you shouldn't have to pay to get access to that information. But if you look at the top up there, you see Kamal Woods v. Shalonda Terrell. And he filed a petition for the divorce since she wants to talk about them being together for 4 years and living with each other, because that's what she basically said. But you see the date that he filed for the petition for the divorce. This is 2023. Now, my math is way more impeccable than hers, so that's only been 2 years. She admitted on her own accord willingly that they've been together for 4 years. So what the hell happened prior to 2023? To me, if I was Shalonda Terrell's attorney, I would say, Yana, listen, his girlfriend went on a radio station and she just pretty much put the business out there. She admitted to living with this man and cohabitating with him, and that they were together for 4 years. My client was not aware that her alleged supposed husband was dating another woman for 2 years before he filed for the petition for the divorce, because he's the petitioner in this case. He's the petitioner in this. The wife is the defendant. Normally when you see a case, you see the petitioner versus defendant, or the plaintiff versus defendant, or sometimes defendant can be respondent. So him being listed first, and I actually looked at the documents either way, he's the petitioner. She's the respondent or the defendant in this case. So he filed the divorce petition against her. But how can he skirt around that? Because I'm sure she filed a counterclaim. That I did not see. I didn't see if there was a counterclaim. But please understand, with Super Stupid saying in this radio interview, no, not interview, squabble, in this radio squabble, that she has been with this man for 4 years and he filed for the divorce petition in 2023. She put the business out there. You're asking dumbass questions about why somebody worried about that. You keep talking about it. So thank you for telling on yourself. Thank you for confirming you two do live together and reside together. Because you're not that smart. So hopefully, Shalonda Terrell, if you're listening, please, dear God, get all the alimony and child support you can get. Ask the judge to consider Super Stupid's income as well. And make it quick. Go get an emergency something so you can get child support. Because he out here taking care of her child. And he's obviously just, if you look at this, he's like kind of busy. Danielle Wood Seals. That's another divorce from 2015. LaShawna Henderson. That's a petition for administration declaration of parentage. So basically, it's like paternity, they're trying to establish paternity and child support. Shanice Myers. How many baby mamas do you have? That's 2 wives, one wife, one ex-wife, one soon-to-be ex-wife, and 2 other women here. How many kids do you have? And you sitting here carrying her child everywhere. Where's her daddy at? Y'all put y'all business out there. But see, here's the thing. They're not smart enough to realize that this can be used against them in court. And I hope it is. I really hope it is. Because she's saying they've been together for 4 years. Okay, well, 2 years he committed and had a whole affair. So that's alimony. Get him. Get everything. Make sure you ask for that damn car she bought him. You get all that. Get everything you deserve, girl. Because you can use that dumbass radio squabble as evidence in your case. You got his girlfriend going around here talking about we've been together for 4 years. He filed for the divorce, though, 2 years ago. So the other 2 years, he's just been doing some dumbass shit. And it could be easily a situation where she was not, his legal wife still was not aware. This man was creeping around behind my back, messing around with this nasty ass girl for 2 years before he even filed the petition for the divorce. So thank his girlfriend for being the moron that she is and telling on herself and him. Use that video as evidence in your case and get every dime you can get out of his bum ass. And if he sits here and tries to say, well, you know, I got bills, I have to pay rent. Yeah, you can pay $2,500 a month in rent that you don't want to pay. Just give up the house. You don't want to pay, but you turn around and put your name on a lease agreement. So the fact that you're capable of paying $2,500 a month, you should not have any excuses to pay child support and alimony. As a matter of fact, get that garnished out of his check. Do an IDO. Get it out of his check. That way you can get it guaranteed. Because he's not going to pay it. And when he wants to sit around and shuck and duck and dive, rent. How you think he going to damn try to handle a situation where he got to pay you alimony and child support? And don't take him back either. Because this is just utterly ridiculous. And of course, this was the second page to other cases that he had filed, other dockets that was filed. You all see at the bottom there, this Ebony Pointer person. This is another marriage that ended in a divorce. So this man has been married at least twice, divorced twice, and going on another third divorce. This shows you character here. That's what this shows. Shows he has a bad habit and pattern of not being a good person. not being a good dad or husband or anything. Because people are taking him to court to either get child support or get divorced from him. And it's just ridiculous. So, this video is hitting 2 hours. I'm going to do a second video to cover the election hearing that was held today. To go over some other information I came across. And hopefully can touch on the interview that was done with WVON with the, what's his, Dante Seat or something like that. I have to look it up. But they interviewed Kiana Belcher and, you know, I guess that was their way of trying to neutralize this shit show between Barney and Super Stupid. It was an absolute shit show. And WVON needs to fire that lady. And send her on her way and tell her, listen, you are not a good fit. Nope. We don't do bias here. We have nothing to lose or gain by not coddling to one human. Allegedly. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. That was my reaction and information I wanted to share. Just trying to debunk a couple of things that they said. And at the end of the day, like I said, the FBI is not investigating everybody. She said a lot of dumb things that was just absolutely false. It's deplorable. It's disgusting for her to think that people fire themselves. I mean, honestly, a court is going to see this video either way. This video is going to get dissected like hell and be used against her. Phinia Dukes, you can use that portion of the squabble to show the judge she meant to fire me. She talking about people fire themselves. What the hell does that mean? So she lacks empathy. She doesn't care. She's a narcissist. She's a psychopath. She's a sociopath. She's a lot of things. She's an inveterate liar, a pathological liar. And she has no consciousness of it all. She doesn't give a shit. So don't give a shit when you take her to court and file lawsuits against her. And you need to get these videos as evidence. Because she's saying the stuff plain and clear and simple. And for what she was even allowed to, I don't even know why that other lady was there. Because, I mean, she basically was either leading her into questions that were just the worst questions ever. Or hanging up on people because they called in and asked some challenging questions. And I guess she figured, you know, you trying to keep from pissing her off. She chose to come on your radio station. Unless she, you know, paid you to do this squabble. Otherwise, I don't understand. So, Lots to cover in the next video. You guys stay tuned. Thank you for checking this out. I'm trying to get to 50,000 cases. 50,000. Yeah, 50,000 K. I'm tired. I'm trying to get to 50K subscribers. And I would love to be able to do that by the end of February. So if you guys can help in that endeavor, share the videos, share the channel, hit the like button, sub. It's going to keep the videos and the content in its algorithm and keep them at the forefront. Make sure you guys support all the other YouTubers that are reporting on Super Stupid as well. I mean, this isn't a competition or anything. And I enjoy being able to just give you guys some great content. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Lady Luck out. Peace.